Alright, when we left off, you guys had managed to make your way from a small circular stone platform that you had appeared from Bramble Marsh in after passing through the portal caused by the green gemstone. You managed to make your way from there to an abandoned villa where you did some exploration and have cleared it out. Unfortunately, during the final battle with four of these small brain creatures, one of your companions was slain and the other one left completely catatonic and kind of drooling away in their own puddle of sleepy happiness off in a corner. You had gone upstairs to check on everybody else and let them know that, well, we're going to need to be taking a break because of some events that took place. That's when you spy two individuals walking from the area where you had poured it in from when you came from Bramble Marsh. You saw one was a person clad in all in purple with the robes and the hood and walking with. Do you have a staff? Out of curiosity, not you.
Me? No. I have a rod as my arcane focus, and because I'm an elf, I actually have a short bow and a long sword. So.
Okay. He's just kind of walking along. You see, he's not wearing any armor that you can see, but he does have a bow and a sword. Some pouches hanging from his belt and everything. He looks very stylish, although a little disheveled at the moment. You would guess that he would be more accustomed to a more clean looking appearance. The person next to him is a tall, blonde-haired, you would guess very obviously a warrior type, because she's kind of got that stride, hand rests very casually on the hilt of her blades, and she just carries herself with a sense of like strength, and courage. She's just kind of prepared, but while at the same time being really pretty. She's got this long, yellow, kind of honey blonde hair that kind of goes down. And is any particular extra styles?
It's usually held back two sides with braids that go towards the back to keep her bangs out of her face, but she usually just lets it flow free.
Yeah. Tall, long blonde hair with the braids. What type of armor are you wearing?
Excellent question. I am wearing chain shirt.
So chain armor, two long swords, yes?
Yep.
And not really wearing a cloak at the moment. She's got a few, looks like maybe a few minor cuts and scrapes on like her arms. One minor like imperfection on her cheek at the moment, where it looks like she took some sort of damage in a fight, or maybe some sort of accident took place or whatever. But she's only shows some very minor wear and tear to her person. But she has this very odd kind of smile on her face, like she's happy to be doing exactly what she's doing.
And how far away were they?
At this point, they are maybe about 100 feet away from the villa. You two are walking side by side. You've been traveling for the past day and a half, making your way steadily inland, following a series of
Put it down.
a series of markers that led towards the ancient volcano that you can see in the distance after being shipwrecked upon the southern coast of this island. You've been following the markers, and over the past day and a half, you've managed to lose 5 other people that had managed to also survive the shipwreck that you were in, to a variety of beasts, marauding lizardfolk, just really horrible happenstance from natural traps, basically. Just natural hazards and the like.
And the one guy that got bit by a snake.
Yeah.
I was thinking that. I don't think it's actually another thing, but I was thinking snake.
Until you arrived at a well-marked passage that goes through the exterior of the what's remains of the volcano, and you follow this tunnel roughly half mile and through the darkness and everything until you exited out into the hollowed center of the caldera, where you followed a stone path that led you to a large circular spot with a granite stone in the center of it overlooking a very beautiful lagoon. From there you could see off to your right, you saw the villa that kind of sat up just slightly uphill from where you're at along the edge of the beach, and you see activity over there.
Alright. Well,
Is there campfires?
You do not see any campfires. There's no signs of any smoke or anything of that nature.
So if they're not setting fires, it might be more undead.
and does this villa seem like any description of what I'm here looking for?
Honestly, you're not really certain what you're looking
Okay.
for. The thing that actually piqued your curiosity about it is the fact that the envoy traveled here, but there's no documented reason as to why.
Okay. And then I know I'm using knowledge from previous character, but there's like the stone slab with like the text on it here. Is that right?
Yeah.
And I read
And
Erin,
yeah, so you know that it says, "Our love is eternal."
Okay. Right.
You're not certain as to what it means or
Right.
why it's there or who put any of this here. It's not Elvish, so it's kind of
Right.
like you have no idea what's going on at this point. And the style of the house is definitely not Elvish. If anything, you would say it's more in keeping with the kind of style that the Tabaxi adapted after they kind of mixed some of the Venice architecture in with their own, and they just kind of own it. They say it's theirs. But when the Venice had taken over, the Venice had built a lot of structures and everything, and then after they were expelled from their kingdom, they basically remodeled but didn't rebuild many of the buildings.
Okay. So we got Dioran text, which doesn't match my reason for being here. That seems to lead towards a villa that doesn't match Dioran architecture.
Right.
It's just this hugely weird thing.
It's very eclectic at this point.
Well, I think our options are pretty limited.
I mean-
we should head towards it and hope that whoever's there is,
Maybe they've seen
Friendly.
other parts of the island that we haven't yet, and they've seen something.
yeah.
They seem to be speaking casually as to one another as they approach. As they get closer, you can start to kind of make out some of the features. Doesn't look like he's trying to hide his heritage at all. He's definitely Elvish. As he gets closer, you can kind of make that out. One of the things that kind of stands out about him features-wise is his icy blue eyes. You're not certain if they glow, but they seem unusually bright underneath the hood of his of the cowl of his cloak.
It's probably down right now if it's warm. Because I'm not trying to hide. It would definitely
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
And then, of course, he's got this like weird shock of kind of icy blue through his otherwise coal black hair. She looks very typically either like a Rhinelander, perhaps,
Maybe
or
more.
Nordregal, kind of the tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed northern folk that kind of live in those two areas.
When I spoke to the, she's a pirate, was she? No,
You
sailor.
might assume she's a pirate, but she's a sailor of some sort, and she has kind of a little bit of a bloodlust.
Okay. When I spoke to her, they were quite a bit a ways, correct?
Yes.
So, and she just went to sleep.
Yeah, she's just sitting in the hammock, kind of rocking, watching as they approach,
Okay.
but doesn't seem to be too concerned.
Should I let everybody else know? I'll say to her, should I let everyone else inside know about them? Or do you want to intercept them as they walk up?
You think they have some coin on them? Because if they have coin, we can just kind of dispatch them and add it to our collection.
No.
And she nods over towards the pile.
No, that's not what I was saying. They don't look like they're here to harm us. But we should greet them and find out what they want.
And what they have.
All right. You stay here.
Okay.
And keep hammocking, and I'm gonna.
All right, I'll keep my eyes on those
You
two.
just watch. If they start looking like they're gonna take me out, come to my rescue. But until then, just relax.
Okay. As you get closer, you can start to kind of make out individuals as opposed to just kind of like moving around. You see this dark-skinned woman with this like long braided mohawk that kind of hangs down, and she's just kind of lounging very casually in this net hammock that's stretched between two of the pillars that basically hold up the roof of above the porch / I guess patio area. And she's just very casually swaying and swinging in it. Her dark eyes very obviously watching as you approach. You see another person quickly dart into the interior of the villa. Give a description for the people.
About 5'6", fair skin. I'm a human, so just kind of fair skin, shorter human. But I'm not wearing any armor. I've just got I have sailor's clothes on. I can't remember if I have those on or.
Yeah, you were just wearing some like relatively comfortable, loose-fitting pants and a loose-fitting shirt. And I believe you had your arms with some wraps or whatever.
Yeah, I do have arms wrapped. So.
What color's your hair? You're kind of a
Blonde
blonde.
hair, blue eyes.
How heavy?
So, kind of like your companion, but much smaller probably.
Is your hair short or
It's long.
long?
Anyway, you see the person, the woman dart into the interior of the villa, and you see another person that kind of comes walking out from around through another door. You're not certain as to, but they seem to be coming walking out from around the other side, and it's a kind of an older guy. He's got kind of reddish brown hair, but it's kind of grayed a little bit. Because you can see the little silvery hairs that kind of glisten in the sunlight. It's relatively short, well kept, and almost a military style, but just slightly shaggier. He's got like a very short, well trimmed beard, and he's dressed in what you would normally expect to see like a barkeep or an innkeeper wearing. He's got kind of the loose-fitting shirt with the bands around the arms. He's even still kind of got this short apron on. Mm-hmm. And he's walking along with this younger girl that has similar features. So you would guess that she's maybe a daughter or something. Mm-hmm. But her hair is kind of like a strawberry blonde, whereas his is kind of a reddish brown, hers is reddish blonde. And they just kind of walk out around towards the corner of the villa closest to the water, and just kind of peering to see who's coming up the walk.
You might be in luck. This could be a really out of the way inn.
That means they have ale. I'm gonna start walking a little bit faster.
All right. Meanwhile, you get inside. Where are you going once you get inside?
Let's see, upstairs.
You got
the extras.
Yeah, you just got Liam and Tess currently upstairs. And then I think everybody else in your party is still down
in the basement.
We're back? Mm-hmm. All right, so you make your way down into the basement because that's where the remainder of your companions are. As you make your way down the stairs and into the silence that is the bottom, the underneath portion of this large villa, and through the double doors into the library / necromantic lab that's set up down there. You see Wentsu is still over next to the remains of Lou and just kind of sitting there, quiet, very obviously in mourning over the loss of his friend. A friend that was his friend for a fairly decent amount of time. And then, of course, you see Mordai is still laying in the same spot. He hasn't moved. The Black Dragonborn is very happily kind of ignored the rest of the people in the basement as she's perusing each of the various tomes and everything, trying hard to eke out any kind of information, even though she can't actually read currently any of the books that are in here. But she's just kind of going through the various books and everything, very excited. Kalista is kind of over next, not really next to Wentsu, but just kind of near Wentsu, and just kind of being watchful, I guess. Just kind of watching over the one that's completely incapacitated, and then her mourning friend that she has no real idea how to soothe because she doesn't know him that well. But she does have a new staff that she's kind of got leaned against her shoulder. It seems that her and the Black Dragonborn, Kalista, has worked out some sort of agreement to where she now has the staff.
Alright, so I'll go downstairs and kind of assess what everyone's doing, and there's people coming up the walkway. There's a couple of them. I know it's a really bad timing. Does anyone want to come with me? Wentsu upstairs to see what they want?
Just kind of looks at me, I guess, and I'll shake my head and just start going up the stairs. I don't really say much. Just kind of go past you.
Is he covered up at all? Did you cover him up with a bedroll or?
You had a cloak on.
He would have had a cloak and a bedroll and stuff, so.
Do you think you would have covered him up with his cloak?
Probably would have wrapped
Pretty sure the Dragonborn did that.
Did you?
Yeah.
She's not listening.
She's not interested in the corpse on
What?
the ground.
No, I'm
Did
pretty
you
sure you
put
covered
his
it.
cloak over?
I think I pulled his hood up.
Yeah.
We can take care of Lou later.
I'm already going up the stairs.
So what are you doing?
I'm going to just kind of look around because I'm overhearing what you're saying. Do you need me to come with you, or?
That'd be fine.
Okay. Gonna just like turn him on his side so he doesn't choke.
Kalista doesn't seem to really react. You've seen her like this a few times when she gets kind of preoccupied with what she's doing. So you just kind of shake your head and just go on upstairs. She's kind of your friend, but at the same time, you guys aren't close.
Yeah.
She's never been the type to let anybody get all that close to her, so.
She's a bitch. I have issues. You got him too.
But you go back upstairs, and as you get upstairs, you see that the elf and human have gotten within relatively casual speaking distance, about 30 or so feet away from the edge of the porch, standing at the bottom of the stairs and kind of looking up. You see the piratey barbarian is still lounging in the hammock.
Between the hammock and the general look of this character, can I tell that she's a sailor, or is that something I need to roll for?
Or is she
You would have to roll for it.
I'm going to attempt to percept if this person is a sailor. We're off to a great start. 7.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
not certain.
But because it's sailing, do I get advantage?
No.
Well, we try.
You would just get your proficiency bonus. But,
For an intelligence check.
yeah.
Oh, shit, I was doing perception, so
Yeah, but
it's fine.
So it was a 5.
So they're coming up towards the stairs, and
Right.
we're coming out the front door.
and you come out the front door. You see three, the woman that you saw earlier that had gone in, she comes back out with 2 other individuals. A bird, humanoid, and a tiefling. Alright, so describe yourselves.
So, Wentsu has black feathers with silver sheen on them. He's wearing a heavy cloak still. His leather armor. And is, what does it say? It's colored in earth tone. Sorry, I couldn't read it.
It's your own handwriting too, bub.
There's a line on it. It's offset with bits of colored string, a lot of shiny little baubles, like a crow would have on his armor or in his nest. But then something new that he's added recently from his previous adventures is he brought a wide-brimmed, like pimp-style hat.
Where's the feather?
With my red, it's I don't think I ever picked a color for it. Yeah.
I don't think you did.
Instead of feather.
You can pick a color though.
All right, so it'll be like a darker, like dark purple, real dark,
Okay.
and then has a red feather on it.
And then Kalista.
I am a tiefling with dark gray skin, silver eyes, black hair, not all that tall, 5'10", but I'm taller than him.
Not all that tall. 5'10".
5'10's pretty tall.
Yeah.
I'm only 5 feet
Taller
tall.
than him.
Which is the important part, honestly.
And I'm dressed in fine clothes. And
You're
I
taller
have
than me.
my staff.
She is carrying a staff that looks like kind of just a generic kind of gnarled oaken wooden staff. As a person that knows the arcane, you can kind of, your eyes instinctually pick out the glyphs and runes that are etched into its surface
And she
that
kind
most
of
people
has
would
the,
just really wouldn't.
the attire that the
Yeah.
magic user would.
You're staring at the
Yeah, she just.
right.
Well, they are kind of out there.
So I've forgotten that my armor, we changed armor. So my armor is actually it's a studded leather armor. It's blue gray with blue steel studs.
Ooh. Matches your feathers nicely.
With a purple hat.
With my purple hat. Sort of yellow, my body colors all over.
Oh, I also have on dark blue cotton boots with white feathers on them.
I'm carrying 2 daggers.
Magical.
So as the group approaches one another,
Hi there. Hello.
Hello. This isn't your house, right?
Uh,
We're totally
we-
not stealing it. We just happened
I
to...
assumed it was an inn because of
That's not-
those.
it's not an
that
inn.
guy. It's not.
you see him point towards Eskin, which
No, if they're asking if it's our house, she's been inside. Do you guys have ale?
We haven't looked around enough to know if there's ale.
Oh, so the chance is still there.
Possibly. Don't you still... Did you drink all your wine?
How long have you been here?
Not very long. Though.
less than a day.
Less than a day. Yeah.
Oh.
3 hours
I was gonna
in
say.
total.
We arrived on the island earlier today.
On a ship?
Not exactly. A portal?
No, that's your jam.
Magic. That makes sense.
And
Not really.
we left a pretty sticky situation, so we're kind of a hodgepodge group.
Sticky situation as in there are people coming after you through a portal?
No, the portal closed.
Okay.
So
Hopefully
And
there
I
are
don't
no
think-
people coming after. I don't know that there are people left.
the town was kind of burning to the ground. It was not our fault. We solved the problem, but it resulted in like the town burning and
That doesn't sound like a
You should watch the
solution.
videos.
Yeah.
Anyway, we came to this villa because we
Great
needed to
horse-
rest,
horse chase and
and we
everything.
went to the basement. Unfortunately, one of our companions died, so we're kind of in shock
Oh,
from that.
I'm
So
sorry for your loss.
We've lost a lot of people the last few days. This jungle is tough. Was there a wine
it-
cellar?
Not that we
There's a
saw
brain
downstairs.
cellar.
You're welcome to go
Brain cellar?
to go
There.
look.
Brains.
Brains with legs.
In jars?
No, stabby legs.
Would I know what they were, or
Possibly. You can use either Arcana or Nature. Their very nature means that Arcana would probably be a better.
Could I do
Yeah,
a survival
choice.
check?
16 on a Arcana check? I rolled kind of low.
You've heard of such creatures. They are not normally a surface-dwelling beastie, but you do know that they have a reputation of being incredibly dangerous.
They're more of an Underdark thing, right?
Yeah, which you're not completely surprised about, considering the passage that you took to get here. You saw an off-branch passage that you're fairly certain, thanks to a sign that was labeled on it, that warned that this was a passage into the Underdark.
Was there a gate on it?
It used to be bricked up,
Okay,
but
so
some
not,
sort of activity has
not necessarily a
brought the-
drow gate.
No.
Okay.
But some sort of activity had brought the wall down.
Actually,
But several years ago, not anything even remotely recently.
actually know what kind of creature you're talking about. Those things are nasty, and they're not usually up on the surface. Is there,
He's gonna want to look at a body.
was there any kind of magic in this, this place?
Well, when we opened it, it cleaned itself.
That's handy.
Curious.
Yeah, it was really, really dirty before. So we're just kind of inside trying to figure out what our next step is. What brings you guys this way?
Well,
Uh,
you can tell them.
I was researching a couple of things, and my studies led me to this island, but I don't know specifically where what I'm looking for is. Just things
It's a
on.
wild goose chase where we're not sure there's a goose.
I'm just looking for some people that I used to know traveled this way, and they would have been drawn to some like magical resources, like books or artifacts or something of that nature.
There's a ton of books in the basement of this house.
Awesome. That means he's gonna want to look at them, and I can get a nap.
Do,
The hammock's taken.
I have my own hammock.
All right. You're welcome to it.
do you mind if I ask them names? Or
Oh.
first names, at least?
Sorry, forgive me. It's been a while since I've actually had to deal with.
Well, my
So
name's
I-
Dagmar.
Hello?
I'm Sylen.
And
Kalista.
what?
Kalista.
Kalista. All right.
There's a
Excellent.
Kalista down in the basement, so that'll be fun.
No, we'll get there.
Name is Wentsu.
Hello, Wentsu.
And I'm Kara.
Are you a sailor?
Yep.
Nice. All right. So let's go look at these books and see if there's any
Well,
any ale.
they were.
I could get a nap, but we should
I
check
guess.
for more
Do
brain
you mind
creatures
if we
first.
intrude? I mean,
They already said it was fine.
You're fine. We
Yeah.
technically
It's not
are
ours.
intruding. This is not our house. We just happened upon it.
And we've already reached an understanding that we won't stab any of them if they won't stab any of us.
Did we talk about that?
We
You see
just
a very sudden look of disappointment come across the face of the dark woman in the hammock. Her face just kind of, she just kind of rolls back and kicks back into the hammock and immediately tries to feign being asleep.
see that's how hard it is.
That's one of our new friends as well.
And the kitchen doesn't have much in it. It's full of rats.
Speaking
Rats
of
are
which, at
edible.
this point, you see this little girl come skipping out. She's got these one half of a rat on this side and one half of a rat on this side. Entrails just kind of dragging along behind them. She's got very dark black hair with the very severe bangs across the front, and her hair is pulled back in a really, really tight ponytail. And she's wearing kind of an old-fashioned dusty dress and everything. And she's got one kind of golden brown eye and one glowing green eye. And she's got like the biggest grin on her face right now. She's kind of skips along and she's got the two little rats and she's like kind of, and she's kind of stops,
Sure.
sees that they're strangers,
Hi, Tessa.
slowly backs inside, and then goes back.
that girl has seen some shit.
That's Tessa.
She was the reason we were in that other town? Or, you mean, we were doing things
Does she
in
have
that
anything to do
town?
with the fire?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
Are we sure?
Sort of.
I mean, her mother did it, but her mother was a flaming ghost woman.
You know what? I think I'm gonna need more to drink before we have this conversation. But no stabbing, no stabbing. Yes.
I don't stab people,
Yes.
I punch them. But
None of that. Ready? All right. Let's go see if we can find something to drink.
All right, so you guys,
And she will stride right up to the house. Try not to step in any entrails.
you make your way inside. You see a large, open common room with a bit of broken, ruined furniture kind of scattered about. There, you see a doorway in which the little girl has obviously gone back into the dark kitchen and has gathered up where she's got some of the rats set up. It looks like they're having a tea party. You see,
Is there a door to that room?
no, actually, yes, there is a door to the kitchen. No, there is no door to the kitchen. My map is rolled up. I'm not going to put it out. There is an entryway into the kitchen, but there's no actual door. There is a door that is currently open that goes into what looks like a study from where you can see. Other than that, there are 2 spiral stairways that go to walkways up above where you see doors to what you assume is probably like bedrooms upstairs. You see kind of a scowling young man about 14, 15 years old, kind of looking down at the arrival of the group. Doesn't say anything, doesn't really greet you or anything, just kind of stands up there, kind of makes eye contact with you, and he says,
They're fine
For now.
for now. Tess is in the kitchen, she's fine.
and he just turns and walks into one of the doors and closes it.
Well, friendly sort, I see.
Well, with a sister like that.
They've been through a lot, to say the least.
So the downstairs is through that study. And I don't know if you want to check the kitchen full of rats for ale. You're welcome to.
Let's start with the
You
basement.
guys had made a cursory search, but you didn't do like an actual full-on search when you'd gone in there.
Alright, so stepping into the study, is there anything that initially catches my attention?
Yes, the fact that it goes from kind of a steady, familiar cacophony of jungle sounds to dead silence, and it's colder by a several degrees.
The glass
You see
cases.
the glass cases directly in front of you. One of them has a purplish-looking crystal in it, about 18 inches long, 4 or 5 inches in diameter. Then there's the other case that has like a golden medallion. Both of which are resting on like little velvet pillows and stuff in these display cases. There's a very nice mahogany desk off to one side with kind of a horseshoe of bookshelves that kind of go to the side and around it.
Okay.
And then but those are facing the other end of the room where there's a set of stairs that go down into what you're guessing is the basement they described.
I'm gonna open my Eldritch Sight and detect magic.
Okay. The medallion is magical.
Okay.
The crystal is magical. Radiates a fairly common but potent magic. Then there is a slight, just general aura across the entire room.
Okay.
There are some sort of like
Ward or-
boards and stuff that basically for keeping it the temperature and the sound and all that kind of stuff.
So what kind of magic was the medallion giving off?
It gives off a divination magic.
And the crystal?
Transmutation?
I think it's conjure. Can I see your player's handbook?
Might be conjuration.
Yeah, I think it's conjuration, but I would want to make sure.
And did any of the books appear to give off any magical aura or anything, or just?
No. Well, sort of. They have. You've seen them in Elven cities, in libraries. The little runes that basically just kind of prevent decay. Doesn't really prevent, but just kind of slows the overall degradation of books and
It's
stuff.
like a preservation.
Yeah.
After the S.
Yeah, it's shows conjuration.
Conjuration.
Yeah.
And conjuration, is that used for, obviously, is conjuration like summoning things?
It is summoning, but it is also
Like transportation?
Transportation.
Conjuration's also good for attacks, like flame fireballs, magical missiles.
Because it summons like fire,
Yeah.
fire and flame.
You actually kind of recognize, not particularly this style, but the system that you used to go from the Elvish lands to the other tower had teleportation circles that are
So it's
powered by
basically
similar devices.
Potentially a portal or some various thing like that.
Right.
Scanning the books on the shelves, does anything stand out for what I'm trying to look for? Or does it?
It's pretty much all in Dioran, and some infernal.
Okay. Well,
So not really.
I read both of those, but not,
Right, but
not
not
what I'm looking for.
what you're looking for.
Okay.
They don't stand out as specifically what you're looking for.
Okay. All right.
All right. So, but
yeah.
meanwhile, what do you intend to do?
I'm gonna go back downstairs and
Okay.
see how Mordai's doing.
All right. So you pass by him as he's just kind of seems to be just kind of standing there, passively scanning the entire room, just kind of looking at everything. His eyes kind of have a slightly brighter glow than you noticed before. It helps that now that you're in the very dim light of this room, his eyes are kind of glowing as he's like looking at the different things.
What color do they glow?
Blue.
I see blue.
Yeah.
Would I have met a lot of elves in my travels?
You've probably met several elves. They're not super common, but they are common enough that you've definitely encountered at least a handful. They do have a tendency to have what you would consider odd eyes, usually like really a natural blue or a natural green.
Do they like humans? Do elves like anyone but elves?
Elves don't even like elves half the time.
They have a tendency to be a little bit more
Aloof.
aloof than they not necessarily an outright disdain for any particular race, but not necessarily warmly embracing anyone. You can kind of attribute it to the fact that they live so much longer than everybody else around them.
They're bored.
But at the same time, it can be a little annoying to be around them sometimes.
Okay.
So I'm not going to talk to him because he's kind of concentrating in a trance, and I'll look at the tall one and be like, just as the way downstairs, if you want to follow me, he seems busy, unless you want to wait for him.
And you're sure you got rid of all the brains?
If we didn't, then our other friend's probably dead too. So. Maybe...
She draws her swords.
Speaking of which, you want to start rolling up your new character? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you're gonna need a few more d6s though. I will draw my swords and then, yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Alright, so you make your way down into the basement area, and you see two bodies off to the side. One is covered, the other one is just kind of rolled off to its side.
Yikes.
The tiefling is just kind of sitting there. Eyes are open like super, super wide, but the actual pupils and everything seem really small. And just kind of sitting there staring blankly into just nothingness. A little bit of drool steadily kind of pooling around its face.
And there's nothing to do for that. Is he normally like that?
No, you're not down there.
You're in the bar.
No, the brain things, like do this brain swap, but basically he didn't survive it. It points
Yeah.
Lou.
Points at Lou.
Points at Lou.
Mordai survived it, but now is in some kind of coma. I don't know, really.
Yeah, that's definitely something for Sylen. Where did the brains come from?
They were just down here.
Alright, I'll start
There's
patrolling
still
the edges
bodies
of the
though
room.
down here, right? Or did you guys take care of it?
Yeah,
I
the
forget.
bodies are still there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
everything's
they're-
just literally this happened like
Yeah.
10, 20 minutes ago,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. It felt like weeks.
Just walks up, kicks one.
So yeah, and I'll point one out, like, those are the brain things. We killed them, but we haven't really
You
done
see this, it's roughly human-sized looking brain, kind of that grayish, pinkish nastiness, but it's got 4 legs that kind of stalk off of its body. It doesn't have any like facial features or anything of that
So it doesn't have a
nature.
beak. Do I know anything about these things? Except beside, of course, what they've told me.
Right.
I'm gonna poke it with my sword.
And poke it, it's like, it's soft.
Oh,
Like a
actually
brain.
kind of cute. Look
That's what
at
they
it.
were.
There'd only be 3 though, right? Because the one that went inside of Lou, or did it come back out?
It came back out
You guys got that one.
Or maybe it came
when
again.
you guys killed Lou
That's
for the
right.
second time.
That's right.
Yeah, it took
So,
over his body completely.
I'll start searching basically the walls, looking for cubby holes that it could have come through.
Okay. So you see her start like poking around like cubby holes and kind of poking into it. You see this black dragonborn kind of look at you like,
Hey,
who the hell are you?
you seen any ale?
Gonna talk briefly.
Any of
No.
this street food?
Sure, drink whatever you like.
Alright, you know what? Never mind. Go back to what you're doing.
Kalista, we have some visitors. They just happen to, they're following some clues. They're looking for some books, so.
Get your own books. These are mine.
I
I
don't-
have claimed these books.
I don't want to know what you've been looking. I have no interest in these books. That's my buddy upstairs. I'm
She peed all over me.
gonna keep looking for holes in the wall. This one seems friendly.
She goes back to her books.
Yeah, whenever it's an appropriate time, for me to be done perusing the study, I'll be heading downstairs. So
Okay.
just whenever things
right.
get back to that.
So at this point, Wentsu, do you intend to go back to Lou, or do you want to go out and try to prepare a way to?
I'm gonna go out and start. Would he be buried or would he be burned? For his.
You know that he's really close to nature, so just anything out in the nature, no matter what it would be, would most
Yeah.
likely be fine.
Because as a body or as ash, he still returns to nature. So it's just a matter of whether you want to dig a hole or chop firewood.
Well, so I'm wondering though, how is
Throw him in a lake.
with the Kenku over there? I didn't look.
The
to see
the Kenku generally like to build like.
Burial
Kind of like
camps.
the Native American things where they basically build like a stand and then they basically lay out their dead at the top of it to basically return them to the sky.
Then
I
you said
won't be able to do that in that time frame, but they would burn that stand though, right? I mean,
No,
they're just-
they have an area and they just kind of leave it
lay 'em
there.
out? Okay. Hmm.
It wouldn't be all that hard to build. It's just some posts and stuff, and you strap them together with some other posts, and then you like build like a little platform on top. It'd probably take about as much effort to do that as to build a funeral pyre.
With an axe.
You want to begin kind of searching around, see if you can find like a tool
Yeah.
shed or something.
Yeah, that's what I'll start looking around for.
Okay. As you're kind of perusing around the outside, you do find towards where the docks are, there is you pretty much call it like a gardener's kind of shed. It's just like a very low shed, maybe only about 3.5, 4 feet tall, with like a set of little doors on the front of it, made out of simple stone with a slightly slanted roof. And you open it up, and obviously you check it for traps and do all that kind of stuff, but it's just a simple shed, so I'm not going to make you go through all the rolls. But you just kind of open it up and you see a number of tools, like carpentry type tools like hammers, nails, saws, that kind of thing, as well as axes, shovels, pretty much anything you would need tool-wise for taking care of the grounds or doing repairs on like the structure of the house or anything of that nature.
Okay. Is there like a
Like-
basically like a wheelbarrow type thing in there too, or something that I can, a cart?
There's not really a cart or anything.
Okay.
Just everything is just kind of stuck in here. There is basically like a tool belt type thing that has like some gardening shears and stuff like that. But you look around, you don't see any kind of like garden. Maybe like decades ago there was like a garden area, but now it's just all kind of overgrown with jungle and that kind of stuff.
I'll grab the tools out needed to build the platform, and then I'll start going out and.
Well, there is some like I said, saw and all that kind of stuff, and an axe and all that, so you can gather that up too.
Okay. And I'll kind of head just outside, or just out of the house area towards the, like, on the edge of the jungle, I guess, basically, grab and start gathering up lumber and things to start pulling around.
Okay. As you approach the edge of the jungle, you kind of it's kind of like tall grass and a few ferns and stuff, and then there's just like the jungle begins. It's like this wall of like green and like the tall tree trunks and the vines that hang down and everything. Very dense. But you do see kind of like the path that led to the south from the where you guys came in at, where the stone is.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one that kind of leads off to the kind of the southeast of your location, and you can kind of hear just very vaguely sounds like maybe a waterfall off in that direction.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
You also see two monkeys. You've seen like snow monkeys and stuff before, but these monkeys are a little bit bigger. You're not certain if they're like monkeys or maybe like a small ape. But they have this like thick black furry bodies. The monkey-like faces, but their eyes seem to be just looking at you with almost an intelligence behind them, not just like your normal everyday wild animal just kind of hanging out in the jungle. These things are hanging upside down by their tails, with their hands like this across their bodies, looking at you. And then you see one of them is kind of smile with a really weird, almost Cheshire cat kind of way too broad of a smile. You see these pointy teeth. It just kind of looks at you.
Kind of look at him a few times. And I'll just say hello to it. See if it says anything back to me.
You see they both swing up into the branches and make their way further into the jungle. So it looks like maybe in the direction of the sound of the waterfall.
Path.
And they're chittering at one another.
Semi-intelligent looking creatures. Okay. I mean, I can't put it past other creatures that have intelligence. I'm a birdman, so.
And just go to gathering some stuff. There's like some bamboo and stuff here that you find would work really well for what you want to do.
Okay.
It's what you guys generally use back home if you have it available,
Okay.
because it's sturdy and it will just kind of last for a really long time. It's easy to work with.
Right. Yeah. So I'll keep working on my burial platform,
Okay.
and then I'll enlist some help once I get time to move loose. But
Okay. But right now you just want your solitary. I'm doing this.
yeah, I'm just gonna get this done, and then we'll get back to helping out with whatever else everybody needs.
Kalista, what are you doing now?
So I ended up going back inside with them, correct? Did I?
What do you want to do?
Well, I wanted to go back inside. And then I was gonna just kind of... Well, before I go back inside, I'm gonna let the innkeeper and his daughter know that we have 2 other people there.
He's like, yeah, I saw them come walking up and kind of overheard the conversation. Sandra is upstairs now cleaning up one of the rooms, basically getting it ready so that they have a place to stay.
Oh, okay.
Innkeeper's daughter.
Sucks. We're not even at home, but go clean that room. Get it ready for our guests.
Well, this is gonna be home now.
Yeah, I guess so, if I just moved
You
it
see,
in.
he's like, I'm about to go maybe get that fire pit ready.
That'd be a
Maybe
good
find
idea.
something to eat. I'm not, he kind of looks back over and you see Tessa's like, oh yes, Mr. Biggles, I would like more tea. I don't think I'd want to go use the kitchen at the moment. Maybe I'll get some pots or something later, but if we maybe get like some people hunting or something, I'm sure the jungle has food that we can prepare. And
That would be a good idea. If you could let the others in the group know, like, that everything seems to be okay for now, and maybe keep their guards up.
yeah, absolutely.
And I will...
How's the others doing? I haven't seen them come up from the basement.
We had
I
some
have an idea, but we'll have to see if John does first.
issues. Lou didn't make it through the fight. We found these creatures that took over him, and then he was too far gone. there was no saving him after that. And then Mordai is now conscious-ish.
That's the other tiefling that
yeah.
you guys brought back from the tower.
Yes.
Sorry, I didn't get a chance to really
It's okay.
meet this person.
The other tiny tiefling boy is in a puddle of drool on the floor right now.
Well, maybe you should move him up to one of the rooms.
That'd be a good idea.
I mean, there's a large number of us. There's not enough rooms to really go for everybody to have their own. But the Liam and Tess have taken over kind of a room to themselves.
Do you and is it Sandra or Sandra?
Sandra.
Do you and Sandra have a room?
Yeah, we just kind of took over one of the ones, the one over in the corner, and she kind of points towards the front corner. You have like a small room in this corner. Liam and Tess went into that one. There's a small room in that corner. And then there's like the set of double doors that you assume, since nobody's really gone up there to explore, you assume that probably goes into what would be the master bedroom of the villa.
Mm-hmm.
And those both overlook the lagoon. And then there's 4 other rooms that are on the other side that basically overlook the jungle and the cliff wall of the caldera
Okay.
back behind the house.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea. I'm gonna go get him. And then from there we can probably get some hunting done.
Okay. Sandra! You see her come up. Okay. Prepare another room. Okay, Dad. She goes back in. You see she's got her hair kind of pulled back in like a little bun and everything. She's got her sleeves rolled up. She was still wearing her apron because you guys had tried to escape from the town so quick, so she's still wearing her work clothes. Mm-hmm. So she's got her apron on, and she's got like a rag that's kind of tucked into her one of the pouches and everything. And she just kind of goes back inside. She's like, man, I really wish I had a broom. This would be a lot easier. And she kind of goes back inside one of the other rooms.
I don't have a broom. Okay, I'm gonna start making my way towards the basement then to get more dice.
Okay. You are swimming through the crystal clear, warm waters of the sacred lagoon. You have just moved past the great gateway that leads into the central sacred mountain. You know that you have met many trials on your journey, but you have bested at least 3 of the challenges. You know now you must move through the Mermaid's Lagoon. You know that the most powerful being of the entire island lives within the lagoon, among the mermaids. While not necessarily cruel or evil in any kind of way that your tribe has known, they are very watchful and wary about anybody that moves into this area. Mm. But your mission must be completed. You must get to the Cavern of Stars and put down the Witch of the Cavern before she can truly rise up and begin her reign of terror again. You were selected from the tribe's mightiest warriors to complete this task, this sacred duty that takes place every 100 years. You travel to the Cavern of Stars and slay the witch within, because she is resurrected every 100 years, returning from the darkness beyond to again sneak into the dreams of those in your village and slowly devour them. Can't have that happen.
I will not fail. I am the Star Child.
And you begin you're making your way through the water. It's just natural to you. Mm-hmm. It's what you do on a regular basis.
I'm quick at it.
Yeah.
So speed.
Yes. And you just kind of like a crocodile, the way that the tail just kind of lashes behind you, and you just kind of approaching, and you see one of the softer humanoid domiciles up ahead of you. You've been told that there was like things like that within the caldera, but the watcher of the water doesn't seem to mind their presence, so you just kind of go with it. Mind you, this might be part of what the prophecy of the shaman told you. It said that you would acquire those that would lend their aid in the defeat of the witch on your journey. Yeah. So as you swim through, you get closer, you see down below you as your eyes kind of see, because you're watchful. You know that you are trespassing into the area of a very powerful being, one that your village greatly admires and respects. So you kind of keep watch, and as you get closer to the villa, you see down below, you see kind of like a circling school of these mermaids, about 5 of them. Long flowing hair for most of them, even the males. The merfolk, if you want to call it that, are just kind of swimming leisurely beneath. They're brightly colored, almost gossamer fins just kind of flowing behind them. The same beautiful shades of color that their hair is in. Their tails are also tend to be very sparkly and colorful, like some of the tropical fish that you see out on the reefs and stuff. But they live primarily here in this lagoon, the one that is reputed to be bottomless. But you see one in particular that catches your attention. She's slightly larger in not necessarily like physical size wise, but just like the length of her tail and everything is just generally longer than that of the others that are swimming around her. She's got this long, kind of almost a burnished bronze colored scale pattern to her tail, and it kind of has the fins kind of go out in this beautiful tealish blue, and gets darker and darker as it reaches the tips. I mean, she's just kind of swimming around, and her hair is also this tealish, kind of pale teal at the top, and then just gets darker as it reaches the tips, and she's just kind of swimming around, and you see that she looks up and makes eye contact with you.
Does she appear to be leading the swimming circle, or in the center of the circle, or just one of the fish?
Just one of them at this point.
Don't call them fish.
They will cut you.
But she just kind of looks up at you, and then she just kind of darts in your direction, moving at an incredible speed.
Threatening, or?
You're not certain. But she is moving fast. She's moving at about a swim speed that you have not seen.
Faster than your average merfolk?
Yes. And within just mere moments, she's basically right up face to face with you. And you just instinctually, because you are naturally an air breather, pop kind of up out of the surface as she kind of pops up and is just kind of treading water there face to face with you. And you see her these very vibrant teal eyes that just kind of glisten, and her face just kind of cocks to the side, cocks to the side and looks at you.
Your speed impresses me.
So you are from the Shatterscale tribe, are you not?
I am.
You are here on your quest. Is it that time again already?
It is.
Then I assume that you will only do what is necessary and not cause any harm to any beasts that don't require it while you're within the domain.
Absolutely. I have respect for your land. I will only harm that which tries to harm me.
Very well. There is, to give you fair warning, some new visitors. The house has been abandoned for many years, but there are new visitors here. Make sure that they don't break any of the laws.
Are they to be trusted? Why are they here?
I don't know. They have yet to speak with me, and I have yet to speak with them. I have merely observed them.
I will keep an eye on them, but I will not take responsibility for their actions. I am on a mission, and I cannot burden myself with infants.
I understand and accept those circumstances. Go forth with my blessing. Enjoy my lagoon. With that, she's just like, and her tail into the air, and she's back down into the deep, dark depths of the lagoon. And as she disappears and you watch her, the other 4 merfolk kind of circle around a couple of more times and then down into the darkness below. As you see them as they go down deeper and deeper, and then they disappear into the ancient structures of the elven city below. And then you go on to your business, making your way towards the villa where the caretaker of the lagoon basically
Once
has
lived.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So back to you guys.
Yeah, can we take a break to get nice in the bed?
Yep. We'll take a break.
I need to stretch my back.
Oh, I'm sorry about your. All right. So at this point, you arrive at this long stone dock that kind of goes out away from the abode that's up on like a little bit of a hill up the beach. You arrive at the stone dock and you climb up basically there's like a ladder, a stone basically ladder type thing that's built into the side of it that you can get up onto the docks. You can hear the people moving around and everything, but you don't see anybody that's on this side of the villa that you are on. But you can hear people moving around inside of it and talking and everything. They're pretty loud, all in all.
No sense of survival.
Yeah.
Clumsy. Okay. I will start making my way down the dock towards the villa.
Alright, so you make
I
your
gotta go past it to get to where I'm going, so.
Alright, so you're making way towards the villa, and as you get a little bit closer, you see some windows up on the upper floor kind of open up, and you see this young human woman. She kind of steps out. She's got her hair, got a rag kind of tying her hair back, and she's got like she takes like a blanket and kind of takes it out the window and is like flopping it in the air and everything. She doesn't seem to notice you.
Keep walking.
Okay. You walk up and there's a set of stairs because the entire villa has got like a porch. It's actually more of a patio because it's the stone walkway, and then there's like basically a roof above that. And you kind of go up a set of stairs, and there's a set of double doors that goes into the abode. And you see some kind of torn hammocks and stuff that are hanging from some posts. Looks like they haven't been used in a very, very long time. Some broken up wicker furniture, kind of destroyed by age and weather. And then the doors are just kind of standing just completely wide open. And you can hear some voices talking inside. You speak common, right?
Yes.
Alright. You hear a voice say, "How's the runes coming upstairs?" And you hear a young voice say, "They're coming along nicely, airing out some of the blankets that I found." They're just kind of yelling back and forth to one another. Meanwhile, you see this girl come running kind of around the edge of the porch. She's outside, coming from like the northern side. She just comes running along. She's got I described her before, she's got the really tight ponytail with the sharp bangs and everything. And she's got like these 2 rats. Well, parts of rats. And she's like, and she just kind of looks up at you as she runs by. She looks at you, she makes eye contact, but she doesn't stop. She doesn't say anything to anybody inside. She just kind of keeps running. She's like she's making the 2 pieces of rat fly around. And she just kind of runs to the southern and appears around the corner.
Where is your caretaker?
Meanwhile, you guys are down in the basement. What are you doing?
Have I finished searching the walls and stuff for more copy of space and more entrances for the...
You find like there's like a chunk of pipe that goes down into the floor. It looks like an area where they were just like disposing of like maybe chemicals or something, just kind of pouring it into waste drain.
And that probably drains into the caldera, doesn't it?
You don't know.
Oh. Is there any
You
heavy
can't see the
workbenches or
bottom of
anything
it,
around
so.
here? Is there any heavy workbenches that I could use that have like a solid bottom?
None that have a solid bottom. They're all legs with heavy wooden tops.
Any of them relatively empty?
No, they are all really filled with beakers and vials and books and strange like brass and copper
Is there
wired
any
instruments.
that are any bookshelves nearby to the drain?
No. The drain's kind of out about maybe about 5 feet from one of the corners. It's kind of like in the middle of the floor.
All right.
It's got like a little basin thing around it.
The drain.
Yeah.
Has it moved recently? Is that where these things came from?
Well, the basin is built to the floor, and the pipe goes into the floor. It's nothing. It's not mobile in any way.
No, but does it look like something has come out of it?
If it did, it would have done so a while ago.
Okay, but there's no grate.
There's no grate.
It just goes straight down.
Just goes straight down. It's about yay big around.
These
About
things
10 inches.
These things could probably squish through there.
Oh, easily.
All right, I'm gonna light a torch.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick it in the hole.
All right. You light a torch and stick it into the hole. And as you're sticking it into the hole, you see something down below, maybe about 6 feet down below where you're at. It's like this weird greenish oozy looking stuff at the bottom of the hole.
All right. I'll pull it up.
Torch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything goopy or anything on the torch?
No.
Can I hold the torch over it, look down? Can I still see that far down, or
Mm-hmm.
is anyone watching me?
I don't know. Is anybody watching her?
I'm on my way
Checking on that
down.
one.
Yeah, you're down there.
Oh,
you're down
how
there.
close am I?
He's down there.
I'm
Am I
close.
down there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's like, no.
I'm just trying to pick him up at this point.
Okay.
So,
How long
Pick
would it
who up?
have been since I arrived down here?
You've probably been down here about 5 minutes.
Okay, so I've probably already looked at them, or like Glue and Mordai. I'm
Right.
probably looking through the shelves to try and find books on the ring or the pact,
Right.
basically.
I probably would have noticed because I have a really high perception.
Okay.
Aren't you lighting a torch in a well-lit room?
Yeah.
Well, it's not well lit.
Oh.
So it's even more noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fire.
I would just
Like
assume
someone
that
is starting a
the
fire.
torch
in the
would
room.
be
Please
lit.
tell me someone looked.
like there's
I mean, my
there's
perception
humans
is
down
0.
there, so I would assume torch for light.
Yeah.
If it's dark, I've got dark vision, so I'm just looking at the books.
All right. So what are you doing?
Well, I know what I want to do next, but would you like to go around the room first?
No. What are you doing?
Okay. I'm going to set the torch that is still lit on the ground near the hole.
Okay.
I'm going to get out my fishing tackle from my pack.
Okay.
I'm going to loop a hook, and I'm going to try and snag up some of that green stuff.
Okay. So you loop up or tie a hook to the end of this line, and you kind of lower it down in there, and you see it go down, and then you see as you're about 6 inches from reaching, you'd guess about roughly 6 inches from reaching it, you see that the green goopy stuff kind of slowly start reaching up. And then as it touches the hook, you see the hook begin to sizzle and dissolve. And the green oozy stuff begins to slowly climb/burn its way up the line.
All right.
Getting closer and closer.
All right. I pick up a torch.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
Yes.
What?
I'm ready to club it.
Why don't you just club what? What are you
All right.
doing?
You look over and you see she's got a string and she's kind of holding it. And she's got basically down into this drain. She's got a torch.
I'm gonna head over there.
Okay. You go over there and you kind of look in and you see this green slime working its
I
dissolving
got my
its way
sword
up
and I
this
cut the
line.
line.
Okay. and it immediately goes back down into the bottom.
What are you doing?
We either kill it now when we know it's there, or we let it come out in our sleep and kill us all.
We don't even know what it is.
It's
though.
obviously not friendly.
I don't know what it is. What are you even talking about?
I get out more fishing line. You were just not helpful.
So
you're witnessing all this.
What is down there?
It eats metal. I'm assuming it would eat flesh.
So can I see down there? So I can see down
Yeah.
there,
But
right?
You see-
why bring it up? What if
How
we
You
big-
can't see that
eat
it's
it?
green. Well, actually, you can't.
Well,
They're
then we
torches.
should leave.
How
But
big
if it
is
can
the
come out of the
space
drain,
it's
'cause there's nothing
filling?
to
Like,
cover the
does
drain
it look like pretty much wider than the pipes or whatever that we can't see it?
Yeah.
But if it eats metal, we have metal weapons.
Yeah, that
You want
sucks.
to make an arcana? Or...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's some kind of, ooze or jelly, but I can figure out exactly what it is. 19,
It's a green slime.
green slime.
Yeah. They're very dangerous, but a lot of there's a lot of wizards and stuff that use them and use like special like things to contain, like basically containers, and use them as a way to dispose of things.
So
Because they won't die just from starvation, but they will eat anything.
And knowing with what I know about them, does it, without a way to get up, like say a fishing line, is it gonna be able to get?
If it was going to be able to get, if it was able to get out, it would already be out.
Yeah, that's really dangerous, but it's contained down there. Like it's only gonna get out if we basically put something down there to help it get out.
You're sure?
Like a
Yes.
fishing line.
This wizard stuff?
Wizard
I'm
stuff.
still figuring this thing out.
Yeah, this is like some
She
kind
starts
of
mumbling about how she hates this world.
wizard
inefficiency.
sanctum, and they probably kept it down there for magical purposes, for whatever experiments they were doing and other things.
It's a garbage disposal.
Also, a garbage disposal.
Which to you means that where these things did not come in this direction.
Makes sense.
I'm gonna take what the yucky brains are. They like, can you pick them up?
Yeah, they're just kind of sticky and soft.
Well, I'm gonna start picking them up and putting them down the drain.
Okay, you're like,
Because they're gonna start stinking if we don't get rid of them.
alright, you put them in there, and they're just slightly larger than the drain, so you have to take something kind of like.
I'll
But once
hand you my
the
torch, you
legs and stuff get in there, they're the fact that they're naturally slimy, they just got into the bottom.
I just
It's a
don't want
brain
them over
drain.
there- I don't want them over there stinking.
I watch it eat them.
You
Yeah,
wanna get
it's
some
just like,
more?
and they're pretty much gone almost
You hear
instantaneously.
a real soft thank you for the whole.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I was gonna say, do you want help getting the rest of them, or
I think I already did them.
did you do all of them? I thought you did one.
They're like, it's
Slowly.
really quick.
Well,
She wants to
she's
squish a brain. Just
I'm just pick it up. Just
Ugh. Not a good visual.
similar.
The little grey cells.
Anyway, yes, I did all three of them. I took care of it.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you gather up the tiefling, Mordai, and take him upstairs. And as you get upstairs and you walk out through the doors out of the study into the large common room, you see this reptilian creature kind of standing in the doorway. He's got a large, just huge axe, kind of
he
like
seeing
resting
me
on his shoulder. The blade of it seems to be molded out of some sort of bone. It's got these jagged spines that come out of the back of it, and it's got all of these etchings and everything. Very primitive looking etchings all across the
Standing in the common room.
these etchings all across the flat of the blade. It's got some various gruesome trophies, like bits of what looks like maybe finger bones and skulls kind of dangling from it, some of them more recent than others.
Has he noticed me yet?
Yeah, he's looking right at you.
I'm gonna just kind of plop Mordai in the doorway and like back up.
Okay, go ahead and give a description of yourself.
I stand similar to this, kind of like, with all hunched over like that at about 6'5". If I were standing up, which would look really awkward for a lizard person, but if I were to stand up straight, I'd definitely clear 8 feet tall. I've got a skull on my head like I'm a Cubone. I have the, as described, giant axe on me, and that is about it. I have a necklace that is made of teeth that I'm wearing, and
Like human teeth?
no, definitely
So
animal.
do you have armor, or are you just
Jagged
kind of
teeth.
wearing?
Fuck ass
Scales.
nude.
I am 100% nude and have no genitals.
Not invisible anyway.
That's what he announces when he walks in. I am nude. I have no genitals.
What color are your scales?
My scales are a deep red, almost like a clay color, or blood color. Similar to that, like a deep red.
And he's got these really thick, like a crocodile, those really thick jaw muscles, and very prominent, jagged, sharp teeth.
I'm gonna walk back with Mordai.
No.
Set him like in the doorway. I'm gonna just like.
All right, you see her put down the body of
Back
a
out.
tiefling.
So I'm just gonna like
Snack.
walk backwards.
What do you look like?
I am the tiefling 5'10", dark gray,
That's right.
exactly like that because repainted it. Not quite that.
I just
Very
noticed she looks like a
chesty.
very
She's that busty.
I just.
It is now canon in game that she is that busty.
She got hit on by a
Everyone knows
count.
it.
Like, if,
Yeah,
we're,
the
if we're
count.
going by old school D&D rules, her charisma of 18 would definitely account for that.
Here's 9 and 9 for you.
I'm just gonna go back that way. Not even say anything. Just go back.
She just leaves a corpse laying there, and it's drooling. It's kind of an oddity for a corpse. You
But no,
haven't eaten yet today, so.
aren't his eyes still open?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But that's common with dead people.
Yeah, they don't close like they do in...
I'll let
Fiction.
you be eaten.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go over and check the body to see if it's still alive.
Okay. Give me a medicine check then.
11.
It's breathing. It's still warm.
Oh.
Yes, microwave.
But it's like the lights are on but no one's home. Like there's no
Recognition.
sign of intelligence.
It can gurgle.
Right. These must not be the companions that are supposed to help me do great things.
So what do you do?
I'm gonna quickly go back down to the basement and.
Alright, like, do.
No.
You have a voice, you know.
Just gonna waddle back down and be like.
Waddle.
I'm very scared.
She walks in like bam. No genitals.
her pants.
Pregnant. She's waddling.
She cracked her pants and just trying to keep it organized.
She's
Don't
trying to
slip
hold
down
the
the stairs.
stairs. Basically.
Anyway, you make your way down the stairs.
I'm gonna just. The big lizard, really big teeth, really scary.
I'm assuming it's a dragon. I'll be up in a moment.
I'm assuming an actual like lizard, like maybe
Like a
like
lizard.
four-legged like
Dragon.
An iguana has
Iguana,
wandered
yeah.
in.
I run upstairs
Just
with
an
my
iguana
torch.
going like this.
Alright, so you go running upstairs with your torch.
So like
I
an
run past
iguana.
you because I'm faster.
No, it's big and red and teeth and has axe.
Maybe run along with
Oh, like bipedal
Like a bird?
lizard
Like-
person.
Yes.
Okay.
Scary, intelligent.
So in my
pictures.
studies of the island, since this was where it was coming,
You've actually
I would know-
encountered lizard men.
and
they-
the ones I've
some of them-
encountered have been dangerous, right?
Yeah,
And-
they killed 3 of your companions.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
3 of the 6 died to an attack by lizard folk.
All right.
Oh, sorry, 3 of the 5.
Yeah.
She was the 6th one. Sorry.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head upstairs and expecting a fight, basically.
As you guys as you make your way upstairs and you kind of have that little brief exchange, you guys come up and you see this reptilian humanoid kind of kneeling down over the catatonic body of Mordai, just kind of like.
That's our friend, don't eat him.
You're still in the study. You see her mouth go, but you don't hear anything.
Wait, the dead body?
Huh?
No, because it's silent.
Yes,
It's
we
magic
just-
silent.
It's magically silent.
So if I'm trying to talk to you and
The
you're
study is
outside of it,
literally
you can't
soundproof.
hear.
Yeah. It's magically soundproof.
She's talking.
And then you realize that, and you kind of step out.
Yeah, monks have high wisdom, so hopefully,
Yeah.
you know.
You're like, oh yeah, there's the spell, and you kind of step out into the chamber, and he's standing there, and you kind of come out behind him, and then slowly after these two humanoid females come out, you see another maybe male or female, you don't know. You really don't completely understand.
I mean, Sylen is pretty androgynous.
The monkey folk.
So.
They're just kind of all there. They're kind of soft and squishy.
Like newborns.
Yeah.
And their junk is everywhere.
They have genitals.
I kind of dig.
Anyway, they come out.
Hello.
Yep.
Hi.
None of you belong here.
Neither do you.
Actually, he does.
Not in this house.
Well, I mean, this house doesn't originally belong here. His people belonged here well before this did. I mean, I'm just saying.
He does this to me all the time. There's no ale here. Why are you here?
I'm on a mission.
Alright. What kind of mission?
Why are you here?
Am I back
Lost.
up at this point?
Dreadfully
Yeah,
lost.
Actually, we're not lost. We were coming to this island on purpose.
Well, I mean, we were coming to the island on purpose, but we have no way of getting off the island.
So stranded.
Stranded. That's the word I
Why
needed.
would you want to leave the island, though?
Civilization. Better ale. Ale in the first place. List goes on. Are you planning on eating us? We have a no stabbing policy and no punching involved.
I do not intend to harm you unless you intend to harm me.
Fair enough.
I want an insight check.
I was just like, I ain't having this BS.
22.
He's sincere. It's kind of odd
Yeah.
because he doesn't seem to have the same emotional cues that other races have. He seems very blunt,
But
and
he's also-
you're fairly certain that the idea of like just outright verbal deception is not something.
Are you a shaman? You've got a...
No. My name is Kurik.
Kurik. Dagmar.
Does anyone here speak Draconic?
Yes.
So Kurik in Draconic is slaughter.
Awesome.
That is
Now-
my character's name.
There were...
But the one
Other-
that speaks the Tron...
Draconic? I think Draconic.
It's not that kind of island.
She's
How do you
downstairs
spell your
though.
name for me?
Kurik.
Like
there are
Casey
other
Kurik.
lizard folk on this island attacking us. We lost friends to it.
Were you trespassing in sacred lands when you were
Well,
attacked?
they weren't exactly clearly marked.
You weren't smelling.
Were they undead?
No.
The things that attacked us? No.
No.
What color were they?
Kind of a greenish gray.
They were green though. Maybe gray.
There's the tribe to the south that are,
Southern tribe.
yeah, the southern tribe that's kind of.
Fire Nation.
You guys aren't exactly on friendly terms, but you just kind of avoid one another. Conflict between the two tribes isn't going to bring about anything good for either one of you. So you just kind of avoid each other's territory. Anytime you guys do encounter one another outside the territory, it's pretty much a toss-up as to whether or not it'll end the bloodshed.
It's Tuesday. That would be the southern tribe.
No, so not quite your people then. At least not the same way.
You're
Not
supposed
your
to say
tribe.
your people.
And I am not a shaman. I am a champion of my people. A warrior.
What is your mission?
I'm here on the island to slay the witch.
Witch.
Is there a witch? Do you have a witch? It's the little girl witch.
No.
What?
She's just weird. I'm
What
sorry.
kind of witch?
Just checking.
You see,
Ancient witch.
if you know how people work, you see Sylen immediately start paying like hyper focused attention on the mention of witch and so how ancient?
Older than I.
How
Am I familiar with how long lizardfolk live ish or no?
Probably you might with a roll. It's kind of a
Just
nature check.
Yeah. 14.
They're definitely not of the long-lived races.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think on average they don't live quite as long as a standard
Just
human.
shorter than human, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, how ancient? How do you count the seasons? Do you go by years?
Yes.
All right. How many years has the
We
witch
are
been
but
here?
primitive people.
But you use our calendar, which is weird. No.
The ancient witch rises every 100 years, and a champion from my village from my tribe comes every 100 years to slay her and rest her back to sleep.
Okay, so we're talking at least 300 years for science, right? It has to
I
happen at least 3 times before it's a fact. So you've got at least 300 years
That's
of the
not
same
how facts
person.
work.
How many hundreds of years has it been?
All of them.
As far as you know, ever since your people have come to this island, that this is just something that's happened for that long, and
All
you cannot.
existence.
And your people say that you pretty much came to this island at the birth time, which is basically when.
The world
It
hatched
basi-
from the egg.
Yeah. Though you haven't been here for all time, you guys came here a really long time ago. There is no set date. We've been here for 5,000 years or whatever. It's just you've
Always.
just
We've
been
always been here.
here. Yeah.
But you haven't seen a witch. You haven't seen a witch.
No.
We literally popped through the portal and tried to find a place to
Are any of them the witch?
No, the witch slumbers in a cave.
Just checking. Nothing personal.
Is the witch humanoid like us, or do you know what?
No one has seen the witch in 100 years.
So you
You know that she's said to have many guises.
So she's kind of a
So one of them could be the
We
witch.
could be the witch.
I have a
This
disguise.
could be
If
10.
if the ancient shaman was off in his visions at all, perhaps. But he says that the witch won't actually arise until the rise of the next sun.
Tomorrow.
So you can't even actually confront her until actually she's there.
So you could camp out and wait till.
But the whole point
I
was to
could
get here
totally
so that
spawn camper.
yeah, well, that was kind of the point. Was basically to be here when she arises, so that she doesn't get a chance to do anything.
Just sit there.
She shows up.
Because if you give her time to actually do anything, then it's already too late.
She slumbers under the waterfall. I must be there by nightfall.
I'll kill a witch. Do you have to do it alone? Is that a thing?
What skills do you bring?
Put the torch down.
Are you talking to
She
yourself,
puts
or-
down a
Yeah.
torch.
And I draw my sword.
Oh,
Sets the villa afire.
Just throw the torch into the corner.
Open
Arson.
armor up. Flashing her boobs, I don't know.
no, she
I have
pulls two.
Sandra sticks her head out. It's like, I have to say that.
No, she just kind of sets the torch. I'm assuming you put it out. It's broad daylight out here. There's really no reason for you to have the torch lit anymore.
Just fire.
But she has two swords.
I bring fire.
Your people have experience with this.
Racist.
If you wish to accompany on my mission, you are more than welcome, but please understand that your safety is your own responsibility.
Of course. There's no ale here. Killing a witch sounds like the next best thing.
I can't really be of much service here. I'll go with you guys. I don't have medical to give to people.
Do you have wounded people here?
Well,
I mean, other than the bubbly one?
no, just that one. But there's not much we can do for
I mean, the other one's already gone. You're not here.
Yeah, but we
Popped
have.
up over the
No.
Did y'all see that lizard?
What's wrong with that one?
Brain thing, psychic.
There was a creature from
You're not sure if
The
she speaks
Underdark.
common.
there was a creature from the Underdark that
Right
stole
now.
its brain, and the person died.
What'd you
This
find out
one
that?
didn't get its brain stolen, but had some damage done.
We call them, or they're known to us as Intellect Devourers, but I don't know if your people would have the same name for them.
Never heard
If
of
you,
such a creature.
And we already got rid of the brains, so there's nothing to eat.
And no proof of their tail.
You're welcome. I got rid of the evidence.
We just carry
I don't know what
this
happened to her.
I mean, as far as I know, they could have been lying to me, and those brains were just down there. But that one has special needs, so.
We do have a friend. I don't know where Wentsu went. Do you know where Wentsu went? He didn't tell anyone.
No, he just kind of wandered off. Towards
I will
the
haul her out into the
jungle.
yard for Wentsu. Wentsu!
Pronounces it.
Hatman!
You hear somebody calling out your name as you've pretty much gotten the structure mostly done. You're lashing on a few more. Basically the top where you're basically lashing down the platform itself.
Wouldn't they see me then if I'm kind of up higher, or is it not up?
Well, you're actually kind of out away from the door and kind of in towards the edge of the jungle. Unless you're planning on leaving his body like right outside the door or something.
No, okay. I just didn't know if it was if they're out. Well, that's right. You guys are inside the.
Yeah.
We're on the porch.
Are you on the porch? Or
No,
you
we're inside.
We're inside.
Yeah.
She's
We're
at
in
the
common.
door.
Okay. But you're yelling outside the. Turn and.
Wait, where was
I don't
the barbarian
recognize the
for him
voice
waltzing?
over it.
Where
Whoever's
was
calling
the
me.
barbarian for him just waltzing?
Sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know this.
Did she actually
person,
go
but-
back to sleep?
Probably.
She makes the nap nap.
Well,
He
no,
makes the
'cause
sneak
you-
sneak.
I mean, I heard her talking.
You heard her
You
talking
can see
before,
her
so
just
you
walked
reckon
in.
because of your ability
Like-
with sounds, you recognize who the voice is.
Hatman!
What?
Hat man.
Heckman.
Oh, hat. He had a nice
Take a deep
hat.
breath and come walking back towards that direction. I'm not gonna yell. But
Just large.
We're gonna go kill a witch. You busy?
I have something to take care of shortly, and then I can leave.
Well, we need to be there by nightfall. How far away is it?
Is it up
Just
the
south. Not even a day's travel.
Where are we going again?
Yeah, maybe
To a
like,
waterfall to kill a
maybe
witch.
like not even that far.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
towards
like
the
10
direction
minutes.
of
Yeah.
the task I need to do.
All right.
Just down the
You
street.
also
Yeah.
have knowledge.
I know, that's what I
Can
just
I
said.
can see the waterfall from here, can't I?
Yeah.
The cave is beneath that waterfall.
Okay. And that's the trail towards.
Yeah, I just saw earlier.
Okay. I need help with Lou's body.
I can carry your friend. Unless you'd rather do it.
No,
I
that's
can't
okay.
carry him. He's too freaking heavy.
I don't think I could either. Do you need anything else for what you're doing with him?
You're really strong.
Yes.
The amount of
It's how
pounds
you
you can
can
carry
warn
is your
people.
strength score, so 16 times 15.
Oh,
So 300 plus.
So what's
but
yours?
you're as fast as I am. Look at your
We are the
dex.
same.
I can
We are the same.
Yeah, but I can.
Like, he's
I
only
can-
180 pounds.
You'd be missing a leg.
Yeah, you can easily carry Lou if you wanted to.
I mean, his
Someone will
armor
help
would
you
add
with
to
him.
that, but, you know, it's still not much.
Would you like me to carry Lou?
For her
instead-
strength.
over a stranger? No
No
offense.
I'm taken.
Alright, so I'll go make my way downstairs to Lou.
Okay. So you gather up Lou and begin taking him upstairs. You go back over to finish up your little platform and everything,
Yeah.
hanging like various little baubles and trinkets that you kind of associate with him and your friendship and everything. Just kind of hangs from the various bits and everything, kind of like to decorate the burial and part of the memory. Is there anything specifically you would like to hang up there? Like maybe items of his or yours that you specifically want to leave in tribute?
Let's see. So he does have like his holy symbol amulet and his signet ring, which you could easily keep.
I kept the signet
You kept
ring.
the signet
I'll probably
ring.
put the holy symbol amulet
Okay.
on there, and then from
Yeah, I was Lou in a past life.
hang on a second.
I mean, there will also be the usual feathers and stuff that kind of helps symbolize the returning to the sky.
Is there anything else that we?
Rips out arm feathers.
Wait. So he had his sword. His shield was plain because it wasn't adorned with anything. His armor.
You see the construction that was made and everything. You kind of, although it's not the same style of what you guys would do, you recognize the basically funerary rites, the kind of that honor of passing on. You guys generally like burn your thing and then feast upon any remains that are left in honor of basically like the heart and stuff like that, in honor of the fallen. But this is something you can recognize. And
Yeah,
kind of-
it's this isn't what we do, but I guess they have emotions and stuff.
yeah, it's a little weird.
I'm gonna go look for something to eat in the area, like a
Pirate.
or a squirrel. Or
You like monkeys?
monkey?
All right.
There was some weird ones in the jungle.
Not
Smiling.
there. But like,
Yeah,
he's a
they're,
bit-
they're all together.
Or
Oh.
I haven't walked over there just yet. Or no, that's right. I was heading over that way. Okay.
Yeah, because you had to finish up hanging up the various little bits
Sorry,
and
I
everything.
didn't hear these.
I'm gonna come up out of the study and into the, like, his body's like on the floor, right?
Yeah.
And like, I'll have Lou and kind of say,
Where
can
is-
someone
Where is she at?
move him to a room, please, before we go? I'll point
Can
to the
you? This?
Mordai.
Sure.
Okay.
Pick up Mordai.
Let's see.
Throw
All
him over my shoulder.
right, you
I don't want you
grab it
drool
up.
on my
He's
front.
he's upstairs now, at least right outside the study.
And I'll
Yeah.
find Sandra.
All right, she's upstairs.
She seems like a capable young lady. Who are you?
Sandra.
Hey, I'm Dagmar, and this person has some special needs apparently until they get better.
Is
Can
he
you?
dead?
No, he's not dead. He's just.
Oh, he's the one I made the room for. Over there. She kind of points to a
Can
room
you
off
just
in the
Check up on him every few minutes, make sure he's not choking on his spittle.
Oh, is he drunk? He's drunk, isn't he? Okay, I can take care of it.
Roll him around. That'll be fine.
I'm used to that.
Thank you.
She's like, ah, there, okay.
And dump him off in a bed. Kind of cover him up. What are you showing me? I don't know what you're pointing at.
My dragon.
Oh. Very nice.
You
They
can't
all
tell
have,
any
right?
difference.
I can't. It looks like it.
This
So
is
anyway,
darker.
so you drop his body off and make your way back downstairs. You get the Lou over to the funeral area.
Tell me about that.
As Wentsu finishes hanging up the final item, which is the holy symbol that Lou bore
Carried.
to represent his
Is she around? Or
fidelity to the ancient
Shield
spirits
was
of
probably like
Fae.
a kite shield, like
and
a
nature.
triangular shape, most likely.
The,
I was thinking about doing something else.
The
Like
platform
flat
is
top, and
about
then it kind of curves into it.
is about 8 feet up in the air,
Like,
but with a little bit of help
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
from her, maybe even a couple of the other people that are in the party, you guys can easily get him up there.
so on the one side of the platform, I'm basically sticking like, so if this is the level with the platform, I hung his shield like that with his sword sticking up,
Okay.
and that's where I hung the holy symbol down off of the hilt of the sword.
Okay.
So that way it's like a
beacon.
marker, basically like a great
Yeah,
marker
you
for
see
him.
him stick this the shield that's like a kite shield, and you see him take this sword and put it in there, and you're not really certain as to why they would waste such
Valuable resources.
weapons and stuff. You notice that this sword has this, like, even in the broad daylight, it has a brilliant white glow to it as he kind of puts it back behind the.
Thinks it's this magic sword.
Well,
Ends up in steel.
I'm not going to be the one to tell them it's going to get stolen. They're still grieving. That's their problem. I don't want to bring them down.
Well, you guys put the body up there onto the platform, and does anybody have words that they wish to speak?
You're not there.
I think, Wentsu, would you like to speak first?
It's by my foot, I think.
Would you like to speak first?
I mean, most of you guys don't know him as well as I did, but this is going to be very difficult for me, and Lou and I have known each other for a long time, so letting him pass like this will be the way he wanted it, but just hopefully no one steals his stuff as I look over at this one.
I'm not a grave defiler. I don't even know your gods.
I don't either. I mean, I'll have a lot to say. Like I said, he's grieving pretty hard and trying to figure out what to do. Get his bearings back. But hopefully he's made an impact on most of you as much as he has on me.
I didn't know Lou very well, but he's a damn good fighter. He's always had my back on all our adventures since we met. Not much else I can say about him.
He helped me out of a fairly sticky situation there, both of you. I appreciate that.
And with that, you guys stand silent for a little bit, and then you guys make your way back towards the villa so that you can plan the next part of what you intend to do. You know you have the unconscious one over there who will not be capable of doing anything for many more hours.
Alright.
Do we know roughly how many hours? Or not really?
And what time of day it is?
It is now like 3 in the afternoon.
It's getting late.
To get there by nightfall.
It's about 10 minutes from here.
Did we go back to
Getting pretty late, we should leave now. Leave him alone.
So is it actually about 10 minutes from here?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right there, guys.
I wasn't sure the distances at the moment, so.
See it
Yeah.
from here.
It's from here. It's would be the equivalent of about 300 yards.
Okay.
Through the trekking of the jungle, yeah, it might take 10 minutes.
Were any of the potions downstairs, did you notice that they were healing potions?
I don't think I had a chance to look at any potions yet. I was kind of focusing on the books.
There was what?
4
Yeah,
blue
you-
ones and 4 red ones.
Was that
But it would be
I
a
don't
potion of
remember.
restoration that would be
the
Did I
white
write
one?
down?
White, pearly white.
Oh yeah, there was 4 pale blue and 2 red glittery.
Red glittery is
What
Yeah.
what time do I know what time the alarm clock goes off? Like, does she wake up at midnight? Does she wake up
At
like
the
8
at
in
the
morning?
at the first rays of the rising of the sun,
like
and then once the sun sets, she will be free to exit from
That's the wrong.
the cavern of the night sky.
So resting now and going into the cavern at night wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea.
Resting sounds good.
how
We've
much of
been
a
kind of on the run. I don't know what your journey was like to get here, all of you, but
I mean, a shipwreck is no fun.
I swam 3
Shipwreck.
miles to get here.
Sounds like we could all use some food. Who was
how long of a rest does he need though?
It's a long rest, so like
8 hours.
essentially 8 hours of
Till
rest.
nightfall.
He needs some nap.
Yeah.
So if we took a long rest
Yeah,
now,
you could actually begin a long rest now and
Mhm.
you guys would actually be able to do whatever you needed to do that night if you wanted.
Who did the innkeeper
I mean, it would
tell
be
was
like
cooking?
That was me.
midnight-ish when you guys would actually kind of start doing whatever, but you'd have your rest,
Yeah.
and you guys have light sources that you can take with you. I mean, you don't have dark vision.
No.
Are there things that come out of
But-
this jungle at the nighttime?
Many things.
There are many things in this jungle that go by the night's shadows. Gorillians are a daytime or a nighttime thing?
Pretty much an anytime thing.
Okay.
If you walk into their area,
Gorillians, that sounds terrible.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Is he back yet?
Who?
You?
Yeah, we
We're
were
all
back
back.
at
We're all
that.
back. Are we in
Yeah.
on the Gorillians conversation?
yes, I'm assuming all of you are standing there.
Okay.
The only person that's not in this
Sitting
conversation is him.
Okay.
Gorillians?
Propped up against the wall.
Monkeys?
Yes. Very large monkeys. Lots of arms.
Sounds like apes.
Angry. Strong. Very strong. Formidable foes.
I like to smile.
Do Gorillians have a weird smile?
No.
Do you have any
No,
gorillian
I don't.
teeth?
Not what I saw. These were smaller and they were hanging from the tree.
You know those. You know to avoid those most of the time. They can be a nuisance at times, but if they decide that they want to attack, which they, your
They
people
swarm?
can, they kind of swarm, but you guys consider them evil spirits, not actual animals, because they have strange powers. They're not natural in any way. You've seen a few
Unnatural
of them.
spirit monkeys. Yes.
There were two of them going towards that waterfall.
Makes sense with the witch. Avoid them at all costs. They're not necessarily dangerous by themselves, but in great numbers they will kill you.
Does anyone want to go hunt for some food? I'm not much of a hunter. I grew up on a ship.
I could
I
fish
could
some
provide
food up out of that
sustenance.
lagoon.
Yeah, the innkeeper said that he
Poor
was going
infants.
to.
Can't even get food.
I mean, we could wake up our barbarian friend.
Yeah.
Most definitely get something from them.
I could go fishing.
Okay. Not in the pit, in the basement, please.
No fishing.
No, that
No
one already-
fish. Yeah,
that one
no.
already
Do
ate
not
mine.
disturb the lake.
Well, then where am I supposed to get fish?
You do not need the fish. You do not trespass
All right,
on
tough
the
guy.
lady of the lake's property.
There's people in the lake.
The merfolk, yes,
Ah!
that own the lake.
Look, hey, there's merfolk.
You are a guest in this land. You should treat it as such.
We haven't. You're the first talking person we've met, other than these guys. They don't count. Nothing personal.
No, we're intruders as well. We don't know what any of this.
It's perfect timing on the sound effect.
Intruders as well. Monkey.
Do you have any specific things that we should not be doing then?
Senseless killing. Just you are a guest in
Okay.
these lands.
What about the brain things?
How do we get food?
Well, if you are killing for sustenance, then
That's not senseless.
there's
By
reason for your kill.
Okay.
the brain things are a
But
natural.
why not fish
So-
then?
And we were fighting for survival.
They are merfolk. And it is their lake. And it would be best not to disturb their lake.
Okay, so in that particular case, that's stealing someone else's food. That I can understand.
Ah, okay.
You know what? We passed like 13 fruit trees on the way here. I want to go find out which one's not going to give me the runs and eat them.
I,
I'm gonna go find something alive and kill it and drive it back.
Alright, so you give me a survival check to see if you can go hunting. Do you want to do a survival check to see
I'm
if you
going
can
for a
gather
fruit
some
check,
fruits?
yeah.
See if she doesn't
Pineapple.
die eating
16.
because she doesn't know what it is.
22.
I'm a well-traveled sailor.
Alright, so you go out and you decide to avoid the area where the waterfall is. So you kind of move a little bit towards the southern end of this little area that's inside the caldera. based off of the information that he told you about the monkeys. Plus, you don't want to really stir up anything within the cavern of the night sky
Yeah.
ahead of time. So you just said, okay, I'm going to go down here. And you're hunting around, and you very quickly track down a boar. A very large boar. Provide enough meat and sustenance for the entire group of people that have gathered in this weird domicile.
Yeah.
You drag back a boar. Meanwhile, you bring back some coconuts and some pineapples, some strange berries.
I'll drag on.
Kind of some strange berries that you don't really recognize, but they smelled sweet enough.
I'll ask Sylen if we can eat them.
And you guys converge back at the thing. Meanwhile, Eskin has cleared out and put fresh wood and everything into the big fire pit. Set up some iron, the spit that basically the fire pit is actually designed to hold like a spit that you can basically stick these two iron poles into and everything.
Like a rotisserie stick.
Yeah.
You ruined
That's what it
it.
And you guys prepare.
Take this leg first.
And you guys prepare a meal, basically to fill your bellies, and with Eskin and Sandra cooking it, you take a good chunk of it prior to, because
I prefer my food.
fresh.
How long does it take to skin a boar? Wouldn't you skin it? You could
Yeah, you
Depends
can
on how
skin
tall
it
you are.
and
They're probably
dress
not
it
too
and all that
long
kind of
for
stuff.
someone who's,
Skilled at
skill
it.
that.
We have
I'm
a,
just watching.
we have a good chef now.
Yeah. And it actually would, since it's a pretty good sized hog, it would give you a very large hide. And a couple of pretty mean looking tusks.
Take a bit
There you
to
go.
tan though.
Some
Yeah,
teeth
it would
for your
take a little
necklace.
while.
Could I use prestidigitation on it
To do what?
to clean it up?
To clean it? Yes. But
Okay.
to tan it? No.
No, just to like clean it so it's not all yucky.
Yeah.
Then we could tan it from there.
And as the afternoon progresses into early evening and the sun begins to set, everybody is kind of gathered around the fire pit, basically kind of taking advantage of the food and just kind of feeling overall kind of a sense of both satisfaction, a sense of loss as you kind of sit silently thinking about the events of the day. Not something that you're particularly concerned about, but you do get kind of lost in your own thoughts about your what you need to accomplish, and everything's always kind of in the forefront of your mind about what duties you need to do. And as you guys are kind of sitting there, the sun is finally gone down, and you got that very beautiful kind of orange blue sunset sky, and there's just this gentle wind that kind of blows this fragrant and pleasant smells into your encampment. The smell of the roasting pig and the pineapple and everything that goes with it, and then the nice smell of the fire just kind of creates this very soothing, relaxing moment, and you can kind of visualize the intent of what this place was for, as a place of peaceful relaxation for those that built it. They came here to celebrate life and their love and just kind of be at peace.
Mhm.
And you kind of wish that you had that opportunity now, but that's kind of been clouded over for you guys at this point. And then at one point, Wentsu finally gets up from the rest of the group and just kind of wanders off to be on his own, as he's kind of lost in his thoughts and everything. You're standing, and you kind of peer out towards where Lou is at, and you can see the bright glowing sword that basically casting light in all directions around it, with just the shadow of the shield basically with the sword illuminating behind it. It just kind of creates this effect, and you're just kind of standing there looking at it, and you feel kind of lost, not really certain where to go forward.
Mhm.
And then you see like a little shadow detach from the nearby wall and kind of glide forward, short. And then you see the flare of the green eye, and a little hand comes up and clasps yours. And she says to you in a very soft voice, "He's thinking about you. He's worried that you're not going to be able to go forward. He can't leave until you're ready."
I myself am worried that I can move forward, but I have a duty to the group, just as he might have.
Okay. She lifts up her other hand and she opens it up, and you see Lou's ring, his signet ring, the one that you had in your pouch, the one that you'd been carrying, and in her palm. And she's like, "He gave me this, and he said that you must have it, and that you must wear it, and that you must stay with the group and provide for them."
How did you get that from my pouch?
He gave it to me. He said it was special, that you have to wear it always, until you don't need it anymore, and then you can pass it on to someone else.
Okay, so he takes the ring from her and...
I guess it is now.
I'm just like, dang it.
I'm going to read out what it is.
Mhm.
It says, while wearing this ring, you gain a plus 1 bonus to AC and to all saving throws. This ring also grants you inspiration, allowing you to add 1d6 to a single d20 roll you make each day. You may choose to use this ability after you roll a d20, but before you know whether the roll resulted in a successful or failure. This ring will only function for Wentsu, but should Wentsu die, he may bequeath the ring and its power to another person.
So let's bless the ring.
So if he's gonna attack someone, he can choose his extra d6, but he doesn't get to.
He doesn't know if he fails it or not.
Well, he rolls the d20, and if he says, "Okay, this doesn't look like it's going to be a success," he can choose to roll an extra d6 to add to that die roll.
Before I know.
Before
But
I
it's not
tell him
just
whether or
an
not
attack.
he
You could use
succeeded
it
or
for
not.
stealth, for picking locks,
Yeah.
checking traps.
Yeah, any
For
d20 roll.
anything.
Yeah, anything he rolls a 20-sided die for.
Sweet.
But that's only once a day.
Once a day.
Because as he looks at it, he feels inspired by the memory of his friend.
Oh.
And it's a
Lou
ring of
would not
protection
want me
on
to
top
get
of
blown
that.
up.
Yeah.
Okay, Wentsu puts the ring on, and he has a little tear in his eye as he's saying goodbye to Lou and letting him know that he needs to go home.
But for the remainder of the evening, while you guys are resting and everything, she kind of stays with you for a little bit, and then she kind of wanders off. Each of you, in turn, take your chances, or take your time to get some sleep and prepare for what you have lying ahead of you. As the night wears on and it comes to midnight, and the entire area is still and quiet, even as the jungle kind of settles for the night. You hear a few lingering night birds, and then it's just kind of an eerie silence that kind of sets over. You just kind of hear the waves and the distant waterfall. You finally regain your senses. It's a long rest, so everybody is back to full health. All of your abilities back. For those that prepare any spells or anything, you can do that now, and then you guys can make your way towards the path to the cave that he has in mind for you guys to explore.
Why would nobody shut my eyeballs?
Finally. My eyes are so dry, guys. Shit.
Was he like aware of what was going on throughout all of this?
No.
No.
Okay.
Zero
So he
intelligence.
doesn't know that I actually just set him down and let him be sniffed by a lizard.
No.
Not
Okay.
until
No
we tell
idea.
him.
You
And there's a couple.
He says it like.
Now there's like 3 strangers.
Yeah, he
Here.
just woke up and is attempting to use his eyeballs again, and then it's like, this weird people.
Yeah, so you wake in a room that you don't remember being in.
And it's really quiet.
Yeah, it's kind of quiet. You hear the crackle of the fire, the gentle rolling waves on the beach.
Let's go to the beach.
Some very
Let's
soft
go to the water.
spoken
See, like,
discussion
DiCaprio.
outside.
Wait, so everyone's outside right now?
By the fire.
But
Yeah,
everybody's
upstairs.
finally woke up and are preparing to go.
Oh.
Yeah, because
So-
you're upstairs and
Do I have a
In one of the
window in my
rooms.
room?
Mhm.
That points near the fire?
Do not jump out the
No,
window.
Yours is pointing out towards the jungle.
Just,
Hey,
Into the
at least
fire.
I can jump out a window.
I had featherfall. It was fine.
yeah, a wizard with no dex trying to jump out a window or climb out a window.
We were trying to make a hasty escape. She fell, but saved herself.
Featherfall.
Featherfall.
I'm gonna make my way downstairs to outside.
Ranger, so good tracker, you know what.
So, as you guys have kind of, like I said, you guys have woken up after your rest. You've prepared any kind of spells or anything and kind of gotten your spell slots back, healed up. You get back any spent, half of your spent
hit dice.
hit dice that you've used. I don't know if anybody's used any of them. And everybody's at full health. Has everybody adjusted their hit points? And you see the tiefling ranger come into the kind of rubbing his eyes and stretching and kind of looking around, a little bit confused,
Well, looks like your
but
friend's
up
awake.
and moving.
is he aware that Lou died?
Just kind of
Hey, Mordai. How you feeling?
slightly annoyed. Why did no one shut my eyeballs?
You don't know
I know
what
you
happened.
didn't.
You don't know what happened.
No, but I can feel somebody didn't close my eyes or whatever happened.
And he did wake up in a bed.
I can kind of just put it together.
Got a good wisdom going on there, so.
We picked up a few new friends.
See that kind of
And
blurs.
It's nice that you know more words than.
they,
I didn't have high hopes.
you were out of it for a long time. Like drooling.
It's been like 3
out of
weeks.
It's been like 8 hours.
Oh, okay.
The brain tried to take over your brain and it didn't work, so you just kind of went into a coma. It was successful on Lou, and Lou died.
Very good.
Well,
I have no feeling towards
That's
it
his
'cause I didn't
sword.
know him at all.
Yeah.
I just
yeah,
knew
like
his
we've known
name.
this kid for like 2 days.
I was like, I knew his name.
The paladin passed away.
Oh,
You gonna steal it?
He didn't make it through the
No, my
battle.
neck really hurts.
it's somebody's fault. Okay. That's. I'm sorry for
So
your loss.
then these guys showed up, and then that guy showed up, and now we're going to a cave
Yeah, you
to kill a witch.
You see some strangers, one of which is a very terrifying crocodilian humanoid.
I'm very tiny compared to. Well, not as tiny as Wentsu, but.
Compared to the large
small, not as
lizard
small
man,
as
you are
you.
very small.
It's
continuous
pointed out in
cracks.
every single game.
Like, he's not even that short.
He's not like a gnome or a halfling.
They make him talk. They make him seem like a halfling
5
bird.
feet tall.
That'd be awesome. He's not even a halfling bird.
It's not that tiny.
You're shorter than I am in real life.
You would have to
That's
look
shorter
like,
than the
like one of
average
those little
height for any
pipsqueak
like,
birds.
actual human in the
Yeah, but he's not a
world.
I'm
human.
not a
He's
human.
not a human. He's
I
a
know, but
bird
you're
man.
tiny.
And
And
he's
you're-
still a large bird.
That's true.
Anyway, we want to get through this.
Are we ready to depart? We are
Um,
using our time.
we're going to go fight a witch. Do you want to come? Do you feel well enough?
I guess.
All right, sounds good.
That's the spirit.
Let's go.
All right. So, what light sources are you guys using?
I have my drift globe.
Okay, so you pull out your drift globe.
Speak the command word, and it hovers.
So you see her pull out like a
I
little
swear if you
glass ball. kind of shake it. And you see some little gold sparkles kind of swirl around it, and she says some word that you don't recognize, and suddenly just flares into light and begins to kind of like float in the air right about at her shoulder level. And just kind of drifts along and floats with her.
What a
As she's-
useful tool.
Isn't it?
Okay.
I like it. Leaves my fists
No, I
open.
can't.
I don't have to hold a torch, so I can punch things
Yeah.
and have a light
Oh,
source.
And it does spread like a full-on, like full lamp light.
What
Six
did you
light.
kill to get that?
We found it in our adventuring.
Are there any rocks nearby?
Yeah.
Can I pick up a rock and cast
We've
light?
been on lots of
Yeah,
adventures.
you pick up a little pebble and cast light onto it.
And then I got a little light rock.
Okay.
It's not
You
as
can
cool
see
as
it
yours.
with
It's not very heavy.
You can also cast it on your staff if you want.
It took a minute. Oh yeah, I'll do that instead. Can I? You know what?
It's a cantrip, so you
Yeah,
can
you
cast
could
as
just-
many times as you want.
Okay,
It's
I'm just
fine.
gonna like put the rock back down and then I'll cast it on the top of the staff.
Okay.
I just hope no one saw that. Just.
At this point, by this time, you are actually attuned to your staff.
Oh, that's right, because I took a long rest.
Yeah.
Wait, that means
What?
because then I didn't attune to
No,
you
were
couldn't
sleeping,
dagger because I was.
dying.
We could have let you cuddle with it while you
just-
were undead.
Dagger.
If she got one of the, I think the psychic dagger, the one that Wentsu didn't want because it,
Oh, the short sword?
the short
Yeah.
sword, yeah.
Yeah, you should already be attuned to that by now. Because you've had it for a while.
Yeah, it should have been attuned before the brain.
Because you were already doing damage with the psychic
yeah.
ability in the last fight.
Yeah.
So with the drift globe and then her staff lit, you guys begin making your way towards the path. Wentsu kind of points out that there's actually a trail that goes to where you want to go. You just instinctually know where you need to go. And you guys kind of make your way through the jungle, and you come to a spot where there's an area that's just completely beaten down. The trees are kind of broken and pushed down. Some of them are pulled down and kind of twisted into almost like there's like a nest of sorts of all of these broken branches and everything that's been just kind of crushed down. You recognize it. There was a Grillion here at some point fairly recently.
Have I ever fought a Grillion?
Yeah, once or twice.
By myself?
No.
Okay.
Not something you might be able to do.
Might be. It
But
would
it's
be
not-
a feat of strength for me
Yeah.
to fight one by myself.
Yeah.
You're talking like mini King Kong status? Like-
Yeah, it's a huge gorilla with 4 arms
Oh.
and very, very strong and very, very savage and very, very territorial. But
I'm gonna look around like what caused this? Does anyone know what caused this in the forest?
This is the aftermath of a Grillion.
What's that?
Giant beast. Like a large monkey. 4 arms. Fearsome creatures. Very formidable
Forearms
foes.
or forearms?
4 arms.
So we should keep
I do
moving.
not understand.
I'm very tall. Nothing
Yes,
my
be cautious.
My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it.
Exactly.
So we should probably keep moving.
Absolutely.
soon you get to a small freshwater pool of water. There's a small stream that kind of meanders its way into the jungle. You guess it kind of heads in the direction of the main lagoon, but there's a slight waterfall that just kind of cascades down into this pretty large pool of water. But you can see that there is a path that kind of goes around the edge of the lake and then kind of over towards the waterfall. From your vantage point, even though you have the light and everything, you can see that there's a soft glow of light coming out from behind the waterfall. Just very, very dim.
Draw my
Covered in
sword.
stars.
Alright, so you draw your swords.
I'm just keeping an eye out for things that, I cast spells basically, so I'm just making sure I'm ready in case I need to.
Mage armor.
Okay.
Yeah, I can cast that at will, so I'll make sure I have mage armor ready.
Okay, so you pop mage armor. You just prepare your axe and
As usual. Yep.
Mordai.
Starts choking your jaw.
Any preparations you want to make?
Just make sure I have my hand on my short sword.
Okay, you want to go ahead and pull it out? You're just gonna leave it sheathed for now?
I'll leave my dagger sheathed and then I'll take out my short sword.
Okay, so you see the small tiefling pull out a very small sword, but it seems to be wreathed in this like almost blue fire or energy, kind of, and you can almost hear screams coming from it. It doesn't seem,
Natural.
yeah.
Oh wait, have I given you guys my description?
No.
Oh.
You're just
So
this
it's-
sort of thing.
Let's do
I saw a
that.
picture of your crotch earlier, but
So the important part's covered.
Was checking you out while you're unconscious.
I'm a
Well, I mean,
lizard.
he's just curious. He doesn't
Do you
know
have
your genitals.
do you have genitals? I don't have any.
What are those?
Well, I've seen The Shape of Water. I know what the genitals do there.
Alright, so what's your description?
So I look very young because I am very young. I'm 5'5", very scrawny. I have rose red hair with gray horns, and my skin tone is like a dark navy blue. And I have gray freckles. My left eye is black, and my right eye is silver. And I have a scar across the black eye, and then one scar across my chin. And I'm kind of covered in different amounts of bandages. Anyone wants to look at where they are.
I like
So
the
are you
moon.
like red, white, and blue?
You're American.
Basically. No, because I don't have any white.
Red, gray, and blue?
Alright,
One
so you
eye.
prepare your sword.
Silver and black.
Kalista, do you have anything that you want to prepare in advance?
Pretty much all of my stuff is just crystal.
Okay.
I do have a question about the staff though.
Okay.
With it, do I need any of the required
No,
items or just the staff?
just the staff.
Okay. Because I'm looking at those right now so that I know
Okay.
what they do.
Yeah, I didn't give you a printout for those.
It's
I'll work
okay.
that out for you.
For now, if you're looking up the spells, I suggest you write what page number it's on.
It's
Next
a
to
good idea.
Wentsu, any special prep you're doing?
I'm gonna say that Wentsu kind of picked up a new habit that he hasn't done before, where he's twiddling his blade back and forth, like flipping it around in his hand as they've been walking through the jungle, which he doesn't typically have his weapons out, but just something that's he's fidgety right now, so he's basically doing blade work, with his hand, but so he's already got his blade out, which, because of the blade I'm holding, I don't know if I was playing with it, it's not really too noticeable, but it is an elven blade, so I don't know if he's gonna notice.
Yeah, actually, you recognize the style. It's kind of been made popular by a specific group of elvish rangers.
Okay.
Just Slayer's talent.
Yeah.
But not really much.
It's a curved blade. But the edge of the blade is on the inside of the curve, so it's kind of like a talon.
Mm-hmm.
What?
So as far as the ring goes, make sure that you up your armor class and your saving throws all by 1 on your sheet.
Yeah, no.
So if you haven't done that yet,
Mm-hmm.
so you're harder to hit and you're easier to not get hit by.
Spells
Mm-hmm.
and stuff.
The aftermath of the grilling, was that here at the clearing? Or
Oh no, it's
That was a little bit farther
a little
back.
bit further back, about halfway.
So,
Okay.
Spell's name.
what direction was it?
Kate,
It
Alright,
moved kind of off to the other
Thank you.
side of the lake from where you're
Yeah.
currently at.
Okay.
It's a little about half a mile or so.
Okay.
So you want to kind of stay cautious, but
Mhm.
it's not known for its like ability to swim. So it doesn't, other than getting water, it won't go really anywhere near the lake.
Okay.
probably would actually prefer to drink out of the stream than it would the actual lake itself.
Yeah.
All right, you. What are you doing?
Nothing. I don't need to get anything
You
ready.
just-
I just have my fists.
Crack some knuckles.
Yep. Just stretching, maybe.
Start some
I
wine.
will get to the back of the group though, kind of bring up.
Okay,
bring
that's
up the
actually
rear.
good because I was about to ask that.
The marching
What
order.
is your marching order?
Following the lizard.
I would assume that we would let him go first because it is like
It's his fault.
All right,
Yes,
so there
but-
is the mouth of the pass that's over here.
How far up do you want?
If you are in the very front, put yourself basically right there at the entrance to the cave. And then put yourself in whatever marching order that you intend to be in.
Put me with some human shields. Or human
In the middle.
shields.
Put the squishy ones in the middle.
I appreciate that.
how far forward do you want to be? Since you're kind of a tracker melee person yourself. You got
Where do you want to be in the
Closer.
order?
Next.
Alright.
Okay.
One's just
So
Splish splash, I was taking a bath.
a bird bath.
Racist.
unless you wanted to be any further forward.
Shit.
Is that where you want to be?
You should be.
Is that your final answer?
Why are you two behind me?
What do you mean?
You two use your close things.
Yeah, but if something sneaks up on us from behind and you're in the back,
I would
they're
appreciate.
just
We
gonna
actually
go
have a little bit
and
of
move
where
on
you
to
can-
the rest of the group because you'll be easy to kill.
Okay.
All right.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to be up towards the action, but I also run very fast. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she
Get to the front when I need to.
Right.
When you ran up to the
She'll just like run on everybody's head.
We can jump.
One time, we had a cliff, and I literally ran along the cliff using a vine and did a flip and landed and punched
It was
things.
pretty
It
badass.
was amazing. I was like, I'm a fucking ninja. I'm gonna do this. And so I was like, I'll go with it.
All right. So as you guys make your way around the narrow path that leads up to behind the waterfall, you find the entrance to the cave. The inside of the cave is kind of like this swirling eddy of a pool of water. But down below the water, you can see tiny pinpoints of glowing light. And that glowing light extends up the walls and into the ceiling. And it creates, in the blackness, almost as though you're walking into the night sky. On the far, far side of the room, you can see that there's a bit of land, in the center of which is a circular stone something or other. Looks like it comes up maybe about 2 feet up off the floor of the cavern. And it seems to be worked stone that you can see on the far side.
Once I see that we're going into a really watery area, I'll reach into my pack and pull out my cloak.
Okay. So you see her reach into her pack and pull out this, like, kind of a leathery black cloak, clasp it around her shoulders.
How deep is the water?
Right in the entrance of the cave, it's not all of that deep, but it gets kind of deeper on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Goes down at the deepest points, which is basically like would be
The
here,
pools.
and then the other side is about 40 feet to the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So deep, but not like,
Not a crater or anything.
yeah.
Is this sacred water or?
Yeah,
This
this
is a sacred
this
place,
this
right?
cavern is considered a sacred place. It's known as the cavern of the night sky,
Mm-hmm.
but shamans come here for a pilgrimage to basically go on a dream quest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very closely associated with the other realm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically the realm of the dead and of the spirits and of the dreaming and all that kind of stuff.
So I'll turn back towards the group and say, "Step cautiously. We're entering sacred lands."
So don't touch the water?
I have boots of levitation. I can be Jesus.
Very nice. Never mind, lead the way.
All right, so you make your way through the room and everything, and there are some of these glowing spots that are basically within reach. You don't touch any of them because each one of them is to represent a dream and a star in the night sky.
Yeah,
so
I was
they're
thinking
sacred.
obviously star-like, so
Yeah, but you see these tiny white. For those that are magically inclined, you see these tiny white, glowing crystals, kind of these little tiny formations, just kind of embedded into the stone. It is a natural formation. It's very magical and beautiful. The glow itself overall has kind of a bluish tint to it, primarily as it basically some of the light filters through the water and everything, and you get that very that shimmery look of all along the walls and everything as the water currents and everything kind of casts just this beautiful shimmer through the room, and it makes the whole thing incredibly beautiful to look at. Inside this cavern, it is slightly cooler than outside, which is to be expected. You're in a cave, and it's a somewhat damp environment.
okay. But we don't see any sign of any potential witch
Or
or
witch hut.
witch-like thing
Just
at the
a
moment.
strange circular something or other on the far side of the room.
Okay.
But of course, it's not quite that time yet, as far as we know.
No. He's told you guys that it was at...
Sunrise.
Yeah.
So we are gonna go camper spawner.
Yeah.
Alright.
Right, well, I'm assuming that this witch you speak of is going to be somewhere on that pedestal.
Do I know much about the pedestal? Is that where
You
she
know that's
rises,
where
or is
that's
that-
where she comes from. You guys call it the Well of Darkness.
It's a tunnel.
Do we
Sort of.
Yeah.
happen to know?
You've never seen it
cavern.
yourself, but you've been
Why?
told that it's the well that leads into
Do I
the
know
realm of
anything
darkness.
about how to open the well or go into the well? Or...
It's just always open.
That's
I've seen
weird.
Inuyasha, so I know that's a bad idea. But have we talked to Kurik? Do we know why we're killing the witch?
Evil.
Been told that
He
she's
said she
evil.
was an evil witch.
We should actually ask that.
We didn't get the whole story.
I'm assuming he's up there while we're all just kind of.
Yeah, I was
talking
just
about it
like
over there.
checking back with the party, like before we kill this person.
Well, you're the one who immediately jumped on helping them kill it.
Evil
So-
witch seems legit.
So now
What
you're
if
having
she's not
second
evil?
thoughts?
Well, no, we just want to make sure that we are establishing our evil points before we.
She could.
Well, from his
Gank.
point of view, he considers
Well,
her
it depends.
evil.
I'm not gonna kill
Yeah.
somebody who just went fishing in the wrong spot, though.
Do we can we see if there's any visible like runes or anything on the?
Oh, when we get up, we're not there
You're gonna
yet.
move all the way around to the.
Yeah.
I know. It's like,
All right, so you guys move all the way around, and you see this 15-foot diameter. For lack of a better word, it looks kind of like a pit. As it dips down below the stone circle that kind of goes around the outside edge of it, it just becomes pitch black.
Like magical darkness, basically.
Yeah, it's just blackness, inky, dark blackness. And there's like a slight cold that seems to emanate from it.
Do I know if I'm supposed to go in there or just wait?
You are not supposed to go in there.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
If I open my Eldritch Sight and detect magic, does the pit
Give you a
or
headache?
magic emanate from there?
It does.
Or
Magic
maybe
does
something else.
emanate from there, and almost like a fountain.
And is there a specific like school of magic that I can tell, or is it just like a bunch?
Just raw
Raw.
magical energy.
Okay. No, that's definitely just full of magic is emanating from that pit, like unfiltered.
I went twice.
Yeah, you can feel it. Who would like? You said you wanted to check it for runes.
Mm-hmm.
There are runes, markings that you recognize very, very well. The entire thing is covered in numerous infernal sigils. This is a gate to hell.
Oh.
It is a residual effect from during the Age of Darkness, when the infernal armies of hell came to try to take over this entire world. This is one of the gateways that they opened to basically allow their armies to move into this area back and forth between hell and the prime material plane.
You want to question the validity of killing the switch
I
now?
know.
It is got several other sigils on it that keep it sealed, but you can feel that the magic that contains it is slightly weakened.
Do I know any way to?
And
Do I know any way to make it not be a gate to hell anymore? And just
you
a
don't
hole?
have magic of that power. You'd have to be a truly eldritch wizard and an entire coven of them to completely.
Or a really high level
seal it.
cleric.
On the side.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
you
put
know,
it down.
just turn the magic off.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of.
Just wait for the Winchesters.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let them know that.
That'd be really frustrating to do a ring of
Yeah.
salt around it.
Kind
Things
of
keep coming up.
Pass on that information that I can tell exactly what it is.
Okay.
And I can read Infernal, so
Same.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming I know
you would
some of this stuff too.
recognize this kind of stuff too.
Crazy.
So basically, there's no real way for just us to fix this so that it doesn't happen again.
So
But like you know, every 100
Every
years,
100 years?
literally like clockwork at the exact same time.
so would that mean that
This
And she never comes. I'm assuming she comes with help. Never just. It's not just her. Do I know?
You don't know.
Go
you
there.
guys
Kill this
gotta,
lady.
write down your experiences.
You should keep track of
These
Writing
don't have much of a written
is
language.
Does he have big claw hands? Like, how are you supposed to?
unnecessary.
Well, he could do it. It's just not part of their
They're just
culture.
more of a
Yeah,
verbal
it's just.
Oral
storytelling.
history.
Yeah. And it's not from a lack of intelligence. It's just that is the tradition.
We
There's
don't
no
really
reason
have
to
a
change something.
long-term
I
goal.
thought we were gonna be fine. Like I thought it was gonna be absolutely okay, and then his bearded snickered.
And
Like,
then Cassidy started laughing. Yeah.
we're bad people, John. Please continue.
So while you're waiting for this witch to arrive, what would you like to do?
Establish watches.
You've got about 6 hours.
Is the place that we're standing on, is it rock, sand?
It is
Silt?
it is mostly sand, but it does have basically a rocky core to it.
Okay. I'm gonna take out one of my daggers and I'm gonna drop a 9 men's Morse.
A what?
Okay.
Find some pebbles, set up, and get ready to play games.
Alright.
Now we killed the time somehow. We already took a nap.
Alright.
We already ate.
What would you like to do?
Did I?
Have you introduced yourselves? I forget.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we introduced ourselves.
Alright.
We did,
Sylen,
but
what
not-
would you like to do?
We didn't get names to him yet. No,
Yeah.
not all
Not
of
me.
us.
He
He did
introduced
it.
himself as Kurik.
Yeah, he
I
introduced
mean,
himself.
you guys haven't introduced yourselves to him either.
No, the ranger was unconscious the whole time, so
Yeah.
I just assumed that they had brought you up to date on everything. This is Kurik. This is Sylen. I am Dagmar. That's Kara.
I know these ones.
Wentsu. And Kalista, which is the same name as the dragon for some reason, but it's fine.
I'm Mordai.
Excellent.
One day.
I didn't tell him your names because I just met you like a little while ago.
It's understandable.
Very
I didn't
long
tell him
We
your
will
names.
day.
bond
Because I
better
honestly
once we
didn't
have killed
remember.
something together and drank ale.
Your names were
Can I
insignificant.
the blood of
Yours
it?
is-
Me?
No.
yeah.
Looks like
You
they
want
can hit
coffee?
things. Looks like they can steal things.
Excuse me.
Right.
How tall is this cavern?
It goes up about 60 feet in kind of just a general dome shape. So it's taller than it is deep.
How
Are
big
those-
is the opening? Does the
Uh,
opening come up? I meant height wise. Like, does it
It's
come
just as tall as it is wide.
up? Oh,
It's
okay.
it's practically circular. its overall shape.
Are the star things like the little pit lights?
crystals?
Are those all over?
Yeah, the only thing they're not on is the ground that you're kind of walking on here. But they're all embedded into the walls, the ceiling, and then down into the floor of the pool down below. Which tells you that for some reason there is no silt that's gathered into the basin of this thing. Because otherwise all the crystals down there would be covered up.
Do we have any information on that, like magic-wise?
Would you like to make an Arcana check and see if you...
I would like to investigate the like, thing.
Sandy beach with rocks in it.
Yeah. It's natural.
Is it just the
Arcana. So you roll a d20 and you have an Arcana skill that
17. There is some sort of magic that is not associated with the Hellgate there, but you don't know what it is.
I can't tell if it's like infernal or...
It's not something you recognize. It's something else.
When I opened my Eldritch Sight, did I see what kind of magic the crystals were?
Yeah. This place has a connection to the Fey realm.
So
Very specifically to the Night Court.
Awesome.
Now remember, the Night Court is not necessarily evil.
Right.
They're just associated with dreams and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
So because of that, I'm guessing
You need
that
to take a minute, or you just need to stand up.
I was just standing up.
Okay.
Stretch.
So I'm guessing that in this area I'd have a fairly close connection with my patron.
Yeah.
And they're okay. Not that my patron is something I try and seek out.
Yeah, not actively. Most
I don't
of the
think. When was the last time I would have heard from my patron or had? Because we haven't really dealt with that in any of our sessions yet.
time. Not yet.
That's not true.
You kind of
That
so
one got
far you
kidnapped.
have an unspoken relationship.
What about me?
You got kidnapped by your patron.
Yeah. Okay.
I
No, you're right.
am going to move myself between the water and the stone, stick my axe in the sand in front of me, and start playing my ceremonial drum.
Okay.
Is
Is it some like Johnny Cash stuff, or is it more tribal?
Totally Johnny Cash tribal.
Doom chicka doom chicka doom chicka doom chicka doom.
Ring of Hellfire.
Ring of
All right, you want to give me a roll? Let's see. Give me a perform check. It'd just be your.
The acoustics in here are pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage because the acoustics in here are pretty damn good.
So you roll twice. No, roll twice and take the highest.
And don't forget to add your proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
And if you
What
have
is
a
the
charisma
proficiency
modifier,
bonus?
then
That there.
Oh, 2, so 14, and charisma, so 15.
all right. You got the rhythm going, and it just kind of reverberates within the cavern, and it's
I'm gonna take a
it's
sip out of
soothing.
my
You like
flask.
it.
I brought my good drum for this too.
Got my going out drum.
I don't know if anyone else here is musically inclined. Was it Kara? Did she?
I thought she had the ability to play like a flute or something.
It'd be kind of weird too.
Lauren.
Next to the
I don't really do anything.
Trying to write.
I can look like
very
different
dull.
people.
Just sharpen it and you can read it.
Magic tricks. Just be like,
Look over there.
look over here.
Can you read it okay? Or should you text it to
I'm
him?
okay. Just let me read it. I have to
Nope.
let my eyes
Can't do
adjust.
it. Can't do it. Can't let you focus.
This is
Gingerbread. Too much sand.
My grandpa got really upset when we were ordering our Starbucks this morning.
Why?
Because I got my grande mocha with a half plum of peppermint. Jordan got his grande mocha with 1 plum of peppermint.
Okay.
And then for John, I got him a venti Americano.
While you guys are sitting,
130 degrees.
while you guys are sitting there waiting patiently, Sylen and Kara, you hear a voice that you don't recognize. It's a male voice. Kind of whispering. You can't quite hear what's being said.
Okay. Can I tell what direction it's coming from? I don't.
Kind of over there. You kind of freaks you out. For just the briefest moment, you pretty much you swear you just heard Lou say something. You didn't catch what he said, but you definitely heard him. It's definitely his voice. No mistaking it.
I'm still back behind here, so I'm going to turn around and kind of, my drift cloak kind of has, well, it's like 60 feet, so all around this area. Do I see anything? No.
Does anyone else hear that voice?
If you're hearing voices,
No, if you're
you
hearing
should keep
voices,
it
though.
to yourself.
I heard something. What did you hear?
A man's voice that I don't recognize.
To me, it sounded like Lou. Kind of weird. That's just what I heard.
I'm gonna lean over to Sylen. Who is the dead one, right?
Yeah, he's the paladin that they did the burial rites for the death
Do
ring.
the gods here have like undead things after their paladins die?
Well, he's not from here. From what I have recognized, the holy symbol, like what god it would have
Oh
been.
yeah, you saw it. So.
As far as I know, that deity doesn't do anything like this. It's definitely fey. Like it's not. Yeah, no.
Yeah, the Fae generally don't dabble in the undead. It's not.
Yeah.
I'll listen harder.
Wait, so he said that it was like a fey magic in the cavern though?
Mhm.
And then his god was a fey god?
Yeah. In a sense.
Your ring, mister.
You summoning things?
Is Lou's ring doing, or is your ring doing anything?
No.
Does it feel warm?
Get out of the water and stop peeing.
No. But Lou wouldn't want me to touch these lights on the wall.
No, you shouldn't.
I am
Oh, yeah,
doing
that
really well at my
conversation.
nightmares. I want to spot myself.
All alone.
All alone.
But as the rest of the evening progresses, and you watch and you can see the barest glimpses of light, kind of creeping up in the outside. You watch as the well, that darkness, a slight piercing screech comes from it. It slowly gets louder. Then all of a sudden you see this nightmarish, humanoid-looking, almost female, deep, dark, kind of coal gray skin with these glowing white eyes and this like just stringy black hair and these two curled horns that kind of come up out of the side of her head. She's got long, thin frame and like hands that come down into like claws. And she just kind of looks around and glances at each of you and begins to cackle.
Do I recognize her from like any folklore or anything of mine?
Sure. I'll let you roll with advantage.
For what check?
Since you have a fiendish heritage anyway.
What check would it be?
Be intelligence.
Okay.
Or
Roll
Arcana if you have it.
Our advantage, so you roll twice and take the highest.
She can walk.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot better.
So Arcana?
Yeah.
22.
It is a night hag. It is known to be a stealer of dreams. She feeds off that negative energy from the dreams, and then if she feeds on them through the night, she can steal the soul of her victim and keep it in her bag.
What is she?
Another brain stealing. Well, no, it was brain stealing before. It was
Yeah.
This
soul
is-
stealing.
Soul
Yeah.
stealing via dreams.
It's
Via
cackling. It
dreams.
came out of the
Cavern
hell
dreams.
portal. I'm going to abandon
Yeah.
my game of 9 minutes more as an attack.
Can
Well, we're going to roll some initiative
I kind of yell that out?
Get this book off.
on your initiative.
Aww.
I said I gave you the phone. The phone.
Sylen,
7.
Kurik,
22.
Mordai,
Yeah.
Yes.
Kalista,
Also 17.
Wentsu.
17.
Jesus. Bara.
16.
There.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then
How many?
I actually
The dream
just one.
warrior.
I just need one initiative.
Is that the miniature you're gonna use for the...
I had pulled out miniatures and then I left them at home.
Yes.
But that's Sandra.
I know.
Okay.
She can take the form of many guises.
I
She
guess.
can.
And what did you
has
She is a
any
shape
sizes.
changer.
I left my minis at home because I had a
Do
Dark
we have
Elf
anything
Sorceress
like
that would have worked fairly
terrifying
well, I
that we
think.
could
I
sit
actually pulled out minis and then
Yeah.
I forgot to put
There's a
them in the
bag of
box.
minis over there.
on?
Cabinet over there.
Go grab.
5.
Go grab.
Right. Kurik.
You're first.
Cute cut.
Cute and cuddly boys.
I just want to hear
I'm
Grog.
going
I want to rage.
to let out a battle cry and attack.
Alright.
If I can get to her, because she's floating.
Yeah, she's just kind of floating in the center of this thing.
But like at his level or eye level-ish, right? Like
Yeah.
each-
I could like take a step forward without stepping into the death.
It is 15 feet in diameter, so that means that there's 5 feet around her.
So I cannot get.
You
to
can't actually reach her yet with
Will
a
that work?
physical attack.
Will that be better?
Is it Harry?
Yeah, can you put that out there instead?
her. Okay, then I will.
I know.
But she's
It's
supposed
on
to.
top of the thing.
She's floating.
Please, Steve, come on.
In the
I'll
middle
save
of
Sandra.
the ring of
Here we go.
death.
Also, this is what you
Thank
thought
you.
you
I have a good
first.
dexterity, but not enough to balance on the edge of a portal of hell to do battle.
It's,
So
well, you
I'm gonna.
could attempt it if you wanted to. However,
Like I said, I have a good dexterity, but not good enough to balance on on the edge of a portal of hell and do battle with a witch. So I will hold my action.
all right. So you hold action. You're already pretty much close to her anyway.
Yeah, I'm just
You
not close enough
basically,
to attack.
if she comes within range, you want to like try to like take a swing at her.
Raging even.
All right.
So you'd rage now, because that would
Yeah,
basically
so you just-
start.
Yeah, you would
Can you
initiate
hold an
the
action while in rage?
yes.
You can't
I
hold a
will
movement, though.
rage.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
can't hold movement.
Right?
Oh, yeah, no, I will rage and pull all the aggro.
All right. So you see this reptilian beast of a man just kind of begin to drool this like foamy green like between his like sharp jagged teeth, and you see his eyes just like the pupils just blow up huge,
Kill mode activated.
and the spines on his light back and everything go from kind of a relaxed to like a very much like he becomes very spiky, and you see him grip his grip tighten around the haft of his axe. Even through the scales you can see that they kind of turn white as he just kind of grips it so tightly. Who's next?
He's like
Mordai, Kalista, and Wentsu simultaneously.
Alright, Mordai, what are you doing?
So there is a pit.
There is a pit.
Honestly, your dice bag's about the right dimensions.
Yeah, basically all of these squares around the hag is with a pit.
Oh,
You
well,
can
I have
you can
right
draw
on
it in
the
there if you
corner
want,
of
if that
that.
would help you guys.
So,
I'm gonna move my butt
So we can't
over
even
this
do
way.
anything.
I mean, if you have ranged stuff,
I don't, but I don't want to be that close right now.
And then she falls back in.
falls back into the pit.
We
But she's
win! Yeah!
She just kind of,
We didn't even need.
Alright, so what are you doing?
I don't have any ranged weapons, so I'm gonna hold my action and just kind of stay where I am now.
You don't want to get any closer or anything?
Or have any spells you want to cast?
I don't really have any spells.
You definitely have one that you'd probably want to use.
Isn't that the one where like?
It's the first one on your list.
Is it? Hunter's mark.
Do you need a
What
plan
happens if you
for it?
open a portal on top
Wait,
of a portal?
I got a circle for that.
Yeah, there's 2 portals.
You got a circle for me? Wait, does
He
she
needs
count
to
in
know,
my...
though.
You can be 3 places
Does
at
he need
once.
to know
He needs to know what it does, but
Yeah. Do you know what it does?
Do you remember what Hunter's Mark does?
So you can
Um,
you cast Hunter's Mark. Go ahead and look it up. Well, since you can't do anything else this round anyway.
Yeah.
So you cast Hunter's Mark. Go ahead and look it up. See what it does.
okay.
You said Wentsu and Kalista, right?
Yep.
All right, Kalista. What are you doing?
I actually
Well,
have a question.
All right.
As far as, are there any like plants near her
There
at
are
all?
no plants in here.
Okay, so then am I still able to cast spike growth if it like creates plants?
Does it create plants or does it alter the plants around that's
The
in?
ground within a 20-foot radius centered on a point within range twists and sprouts hard spikes and thorns. The area becomes difficult terrain for the duration. When a creature moves into or within the area, it takes a 2d4 piercing damage for every 5-foot it travels.
She's actually
20-foot
she's
radius?
floating right now above a hole, and that would affect us too. So that would probably not be a good spell
Yeah.
to use.
Oh, I thought that it would just go like from within the hole and just at her.
No, it sprouts from the ground, and she's not above ground. She's
She's
not
just
above ground.
floating.
She's
Okay.
just floating. Like she's above a hole right now.
So my staff
That'd be
is
like
of
that.
no use.
No,
But you have
but you
other
have
spells.
all of your
No, I
own
know.
spells.
go with it.
I do.
Fire, one of them things.
Firebolt is a cantrip.
When in doubt.
Well, it's firebolt.
All right, let's go to Wentsu while you figure out what you want to do.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
This is why I like my fists. I don't have spells.
No thought.
Just
Just kill.
pummel things.
I'm trying to separate them.
That's the one foaming.
Can't move there, but I'll have my action. I can't. Alright.
So you run around the edge of the pit to position yourself on the other side. Your blade ready to strike, given if she actually moves any closer to your location.
Yeah.
All right. You got what you're doing,
I
Kalista?
do
Oh,
the,
Calista still has
I
to
do the
go.
Bruce Lee thing. trying to. I'm trying to get her to come out of that damn hole in the ground.
All right. Kara, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, Calista still has to.
Oh, I'm just normal my
You're
action.
just-
I have an idea. It might be a stupid one though.
Okay. What are you going to do?
Well, I was gonna dive for her. She has to get off of there. If we can't hit her, we can't kill her. And like, I won't fall in the hole.
Don't fall in the hole.
That's a portal to hole to hell.
Yeah,
Go
but
It's a
ahead.
portal to hole.
My dexterity is really, really good. My acrobatics are amazing.
All right. Do it.
Slow enough.
If you're going to do it, do it.
Just do it. I'm gonna like take, like I'm gonna turn this way, essentially just run full speed, like jump and try and like tackle her around the middle and get her over the other side.
All right. So
Because
do
this
your,
is 5
do
feet,
your movement.
right?
Mhm. Do
So
your do your movement.
Where are you moving to?
Move yourself up to her.
so 5, 10.
Roll your. No, you got to go up to her.
Oh, up to her? But
Yeah,
this is
but-
a pit.
Yeah, you're
Oh,
over the pit.
jumping,
You're
okay.
jumping. Remember?
Okay. But
No,
I
just
can't-
put yourself on the square next to her. There you go. Now roll your athletics check.
Can't be acrobatics because I'm like diving.
Yeah. And
What if I did a flip
A
first?
grapple is an athletics
Dang
check.
it. Okay. Athletics
You
is still a
don't think
barrel
it's
roll.
athletics.
Athletics is still fine. 14.
Okay. So yeah, you hit her. She only gets a 9. So you grab her and you can move her 10 feet.
So 5, 10. So she's on land.
Yeah.
Next to us now.
Now I need you because technically you can only move in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make your dexterity saving throw
Okay.
to make sure that you land on the other side.
Okay. So this plus my dex.
Well, plus your dex saving throw in the little
Oh,
box.
up here.
Yeah.
20.
Yeah. So you like hit her, move her to the other side, and then just kind of use her body to roll yourself because otherwise the only position you would be in is like right in the pit.
If you are moving in a straight line, wouldn't the two of them be reversed in position though?
No, like I
Yeah.
flung
She-
her. Is what he's saying is
She would have
I
been in
threw
front
her,
of her as she basically
and I kind of like
pushed her
pushed her that
forward.
way, and I went that way because my saving.
He wanted to hit
Ninja.
her. He wanted to hit
Oh my
I'll get out of the
You are
way.
standing between a really pissed off lizard.
Like, you're behind me like shit.
It just feels hot.
Alright.
And then some
Do
Phone
Mordai,
number.
Callista, or Wentsu want to take their held action? Wentsu, you can throw
Wentz-
something.
Yeah, Wentsu could only throw anything. Mordai has already did Hunter's Mark.
And has no range, which is a bonus action, but has no ranged
The
action.
hunter's
Right.
mark goes with them, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it stays with them.
No, it just floats in the middle.
And
I'm just gonna
movement
cast
is
fire
not
without
part.
it.
They're not part of the hell.
I'm not
Yeah.
level 5 yet, right?
Is
No.
5 foot stepping
Are
still
you
a
sure?
free action?
Yes.
No,
Was worth a try.
Cunning action doesn't.
I don't understand your futuristic gaming system.
yeah, so basically,
want to move 5
basically your things that you can do is
22.
That'd probably just be like one long
And then it
stride
goes
for you.
1,
there's no like
Just-
5 foot step anymore, but you can move freely around people
Yeah.
as long as you're not moving out of their
The
start
second
range.
story
Is this your
work
first
is
time
just
playing
a-
this edition? Yeah, it
I
was
was
weird
looking
switching
for
over
it.
first.
Mhm.
You
Okay.
basically
Roll
have
damage.
action,
3.
Can you mark down 3
movement,
damage
bonus
for the
action.
United
Got
Knights?
more than
we had before.
Told you I suck at this.
No, there is an
Maybe
ability,
you should
that, an
try
action that
different
you can
color.
take called disengage
Try a different color.
to get away from something. But you can't, if you
Like,
disengage, you can't attack or anything.
Okay.
Except for rogues who can do disengage as a bonus action instead of their action. So they can move in, attack, disengage, and move back out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kara went, which makes it Sylen's turn.
Alright, Sylen.
Well, I kind of want to see what this thing does, so I'm not going to use any of my proper, like, full-on spells yet. So I am just going to Eldritch Blast. I mean, my Eldritch Blast is still pretty amazing, so...
Yeah.
Except when I miss, which is good. A 12.
12? Yeah, that's
She's still
definitely a
grappled?
miss.
It's not
No,
considered a
because she was a
grapple.
push. That was a
Yeah.
push, not a grapple, technically.
Yeah.
Same mechanics, just a different outcome.
What classification would the hag fall under?
Fiend.
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 Okay.
So no, you don't get
So Sylen went. He's good standing where he's at. There's plenty of other bodies. And
Night Hag.
Alright,
Bring it.
so Night Hag
Aaron's got a back.
will she just kind of cackles and looks at you, and she reaches her hand out towards the black pit, and you see this black shadowy energy kind of come up and circle around her hand, and she holds out the other hand like this, and you see these 2 black globs kind of shoot off to the side and begin to kind of float in the air, and then transform into these tiny, like flying creatures with these gangly bodies and these long, like barbed tails. They're imps, but I'm using rats.
is that considered a spell, or is it an actual like natural ability? Or
It is a spell.
So with it being a spell, does she get an attack opportunity?
That's not
Just
how
ha-
it works.
it has disadvantage on attack spells and on the
Since
person
it's not
that
an attack spell, then
Yeah.
there's no.
Oh, and they show up
there's-
over the water.
Yeah, they're flying.
they're flying. They have wings. They're imps.
Yeah, so they're like, "Pfft," and they start flying, and you see they look around very quickly, and like, and one will move quickly over to you, while the other one moves towards Kara.
He's gonna eat it.
But you can use your held action to hit that one.
Yes.
After it hits me, right?
That's same time.
Yeah,
same
Simon.
time base,
Okay.
basically.
The effect is basically simultaneous.
Yeah.
Now I can take more than one attack with my held action, right?
Yeah, it's your
Okay.
action. You do what you want to do with it.
And you have a damage reduction when you're raging, right?
Yeah, but I don't know how it works.
It's
It-
50
It,
it's always
it literally
50%.
just says you take less damage from these things while you're raging.
Damage
it's a-
reduction is a flat 50%.
Yeah.
So you take half.
Does a 19 hit you?
No.
Okay.
Have you
Are
seen
you-
his armor class?
Yeah.
What is it?
Fucking insane.
21.
Does
Mine's 19.
He's
Yeah.
buck naked.
9
So
does
it-
9
20 will hit
the
you.
E?
It does not.
What about
Are you using reckless?
huh?
You using your reckless attack, or are you going to just? Reckless means that you get to roll twice and take the highest number.
But
for
Oh,
each
no,
attack.
no, no. I'm taking my second attack
Okay.
for raging.
So you are not using reckless attack right now.
No, I am not.
Okay,
That's
so
a 24.
that will hit.
The reason he's asking is while you're doing reckless,
I get hit easier as well.
yeah.
9 points of damage.
Can you write down 9 for one of the imps?
Okay,
Yeah.
were you attacking the one that's closer to the monk or not?
The ones that's
The
one
him
attacking him.
probably-
Okay, which one was attacking you?
The one
The
that's
one
on-
that's in base contact with him.
Okay.
And then there's
They're,
one
they're
that's
both
in
in
base.
base contact.
But this
Right,
one's
but one
There's
was
one
attacking-
directly in front of the other.
And then I'm going to use my Hungry Jaws ability,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is a bonus. Is there a limited number of bonus actions you can
One
make?
per turn.
One.
Did I already make one of those?
Yes.
No.
Because he
Is
took
Rick-
the second attack.
No,
No,
he
the
has
second
two
attack
attacks.
is the second attack.
Oh, because he's raging. My bad.
Right.
Okay. I'm going to take my bonus action and use my Hungry Jaws ability,
Because
which
is
gives me
raging
an
a bonus
additional
action?
bite attack.
Oh yeah. You started raging
Yes.
this
Is
turn,
that
so
a
that's a
bonus
bonus
action?
action.
Okay. Cool.
Alright,
So
so
I will bite
you
it
see
next
the
turn.
imps come lunging forward. The first one goes at him, and he's like, whoosh, whoosh, and he kind of cuts deep into it as it tries to sting him with this like almost scorpion-like tail.
Oh.
He hits it, and it's
Rage
like
damage. +2.
+2, so 2 more points of damage. And he hits it, and it's just kind of and just kind of hisses at you. Meanwhile, the one comes lunging at you, and its stinger you're kind of like. Its stinger kind of comes around and catches you in the side of the neck. And it's going to do 1d4.
Damn.
Does 3 points of piercing damage. But you also need to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
We didn't pick
And
up
whatever
the
it is, it'd
health
be
potions before we
what's
left.
marked there. That's all
What?
you get.
We didn't pick up the health potions before we left.
The hot cushions?
Health potions.
It's the hot cushion.
Yes.
The health potions that
20?
we really
Yeah,
only
so
picked
it
up because
stabs you,
nobody
but
else
you just
has
kinda
any
like
anymore.
bat it away before it can actually inject any poison into you.
What kind of monk are you again?
Fighty punch punch?
Well, what?
Way of the hand.
Yeah.
Way of the hand.
That's what I said.
Punch way the hand.
Yes.
And then
If the bad guy is done, that makes it my turn.
oh, your turn.
I get to go.
We'll go.
No one's like, yes, my turn.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, please. Thank you. And then I'm gonna attack it.
Okay.
With my
Now your
longsword.
Now your second attack, because it's your offhand, is a bonus action.
Yes. But I do get to add my extra dice, my damage
Right,
to it
'cause you
because
have
I'm a badass. Alright, so a 9 and an 18.
For the
Attacks.
Which? The 18 will hit. The 9 will not.
Not that it really matters telling the difference between my damage because they do the same damage either way, but it's the thought that counts. So 10 points of damage to the Night Hag, brings her up to 13 points of damage, and it makes it initiative.
22.
Sylen,
13.
Mordai,
10.
Kalista,
6.
Wentsu,
19.
Kara,
6.
bad guys.
4.
No, I hope a 1.
Kurik, again, the 22.
Alright, you still have 2 imps harassing you in your area right now.
Okay. If I walk away from them, are they going to get to attack me?
Yes. They would both get attacks of opportunity.
Cool.
Assuming you still want to be able to attack.
Yeah, that's fine. They can attack me. I'm going to move to here.
Do you move around the pit, or are you just going to like jump over it?
Just a hop, skip, and a jump. A hop, skip, and a jump.
Can I just move through her square? No.
You cannot move through her square.
Doesn't
you
it count as
could.
Oh, you
Yeah.
can move through Kara's square.
Yeah, you can move through Kara's, and that's
Yeah.
That counts as 2 for that,
But
but
yeah,
you have
you
plenty
can
of
still
movement to do it.
Okay. That's what I'm going to do.
Alright.
So they attack me, the imps.
Yes, they
Okay.
are going to take. Each one is going to take an attack on you.
Okay.
You haven't done reckless, so they don't get the advantage on
Yep.
it. So, no, they're like and kind of hissing at you, but you
Did you
just
leave?
completely ignore them and move past the monk into base contact with the witch.
Okay. Who I can then make reckless attacks on?
Yep.
You can.
Okay. So
So you're
first
saying
one,
you're doing reckless, right?
Yeah, 19.
So roll
That
twice.
is a hit.
And you roll
Okay, you did roll twice. Okay.
Okay. 8 points.
Can you imagine if you had to roll your damage dice twice to take it better?
8 more on the hag.
Okay.
And then a second attack.
16.
Miss.
Okay. And now I can do my Hungry Jaws.
Yes. Which technically you can also do recklessly if you want.
Well, I mean, reckless
not?
is just
The
Yeah.
attacks.
19.
That is a hit.
Okay. 6 points of damage.
you still get your +2 for raging on the bite.
Yeah.
8 points of damage.
Alright. So he shoves past you, he swings the axe twice, and then he finds purchase with one attack but misses with the second, and then just lunges in with those crocodile-like jaws and just like and snaps in around her wrist. She jerks it back, and you see this black blood kind of ooze out of her flesh. You see the black blood kind of seeping out from between his jaws.
That's
And I
nice.
get 8 temporary hit points.
Nice. Wentsu.
How deep is that water right next
How
to the
deep
edge?
is the water?
About a foot deep, right there at the edge, within that first 5 feet of squares, or 5 feet.
You can do it.
And then it just puts me 4 feet out of the water, basically.
It's not going to really hamper you any.
No, if she's hovering. Then
She is no longer hovering.
Okay, so if she's hovering, then that just puts me in, like, I'm hacking at her crotch pretty much.
Hit whatever you want.
Yeah, just
Do you need a detailed diagram?
just penetrate her with your sword. It's fine.
It's a short sword.
Alright, so I go around. 19.
19 damage.
To the hag?
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't judge
48.
me. Don't judge me. God damn it.
Let's see if you remember what the business was.
Have the human
Alright,
calculator
who's
next
next?
to
Bit of
you.
rage on that one.
Ian is it.
After Wentsu, Sylen.
Alright. The hag seems to be pretty well surrounded, so I am going to switch and attack the imp that the lizard man Slaughter had attacked.
Alright.
21.
That is a hit.
I don't know if cold damage affects it, but one of these dice is cold damage. Ooh, nice. So it is 14 points of force and 2 cold damage, so 16 total.
Okay. So you hit it, and as the bolt of energy slams into it, ice kind of crystallizes across its form, and then it just shatters. And then as it hit, basically as the pieces shatter apart, it just kind of vaporizes. And you see the black energy go back into the pit.
So that imp is
That is
dispatched
no
for
longer
now.
there.
Alright.
Who's next?
After Sylen, it is Mordai's turn.
Alright, Mordai.
I'm still kind of confused on what Hunter's mask. or
Hunter's
Hunter's
Mark
weapon-
allows you to do extra damage.
Yeah, when you hit
Okay.
it and hurt it with it, when you hit it, you deal an extra dice of damage, whichever it says on the spell.
Is it only when they hit it, or
No, it's only when he hits
hits it.
And
You have to roll a hit.
But
If
like
you're
he's
not
not
lying.
there right now. He's the little metal
Oh, yeah.
guy over there.
I don't think I can really get near her.
You can start moving closer though.
True.
Yeah,
Or
you
shoot
kind of left yourself at a disadvantage by hanging back.
Yeah,
What's your movement? 30 feet.
30 feet.
32, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah, that's as far as you'd be able to get.
I'm gonna get there.
You're gonna be right on the edge of the
You
water.
have to go through me into the water next time.
But we shouldn't be going into the water, should we? Because there is a crystal.
I would not go near the water.
You're in.
Who's next?
The brush on the water.
after Mordai, it's oh sorry, it's me apparently. I'm gonna attack it. 18 and a 24.
Both hits.
So it's 14 points of damage.
14 points.
So 62. And after my character, it is Kalista and Kara simultaneous.
Alright, so she swings both of her swords and just kind of cuts into the hag, and the hag hisses and kind of draws her attention towards you.
I have a question. If Firebolt is a cantrip and it's instantaneous and doesn't take concentration or anything like that, would I be able to cast Firebolt and then still... No, because it's still an action.
Yeah.
Right.
Never mind. But, I was... Sorry, do you want to go first?
I'm just gonna punch that guy.
Just gonna punch that rage.
Mine's
BB
pretty
from
simple.
her
If you need a
mouth.
minute, I can punch him.
Alright, you
Yeah,
start
can
punching.
punch.
Did you just
Who
say
are you
you're gonna
punching?
punch that raging beaver in the mouth?
Raging impy beaver.
I'm gonna
Whoa.
punch this guy.
What the hell did that?
Gonna punch the
You're
imp.
gonna punch them.
I'm gonna punch the imp.
Punch that raging beaver in the
Miss
mouth.
with my first one.
With what?
Miss with my second one, and now I'm pissed. I'm gonna need a key point.
You get
For
Flurry
my
of
third
blows.
one. 13?
hit.
Yes. 9 points of damage.
9.
Has that one been hit yet?
That's the first time. Alright, so as you're like, you kind of turn towards the imp that kind of jabbed you in the neck, and you're like, whew, and it kind of like, kind of flitters around, and you swing again, and again it just kind of flitters out of your out of your range of your swings, and then you just kind of like lose it. You're just like, and like punch it right in like the center of its body, which pretty much your fist takes up the entirety of this creature's form, and it's like, and it kind of stops fluttering for a second. It kind of drops, and it's like.
So, Kara and Kalista or Simon.
Oh, I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt then.
Alright, who are you casting Witch Bolt at?
At the heck.
Alright,
15.
that is a miss.
No. I don't like that.
So you summon up the magical electrical energy and you launch out at the hag, trying to make that connection, but it just kind of goes past the hag and you lose that particular spell.
Can I get a new character? Mine is broken.
Why did
We'll
you?
work on it.
Bad guys.
Red
Okay.
range spell.
Alright, so the
attack,
imp-
is it?
Plus
Plus six,
in
yeah.
retaliation decides that it wants to kind of circle around to the other side of you, over land.
Really bad at
But
this.
here.
Yep. And
Do I
well,
get an attack of opportunity?
No, it didn't
no,
leave
it didn't
your-
leave your range. It just changed its position
Just
up.
circled on you.
And tries to jab at you again, but you're ready for it. You just kind of swat the attack away and just kind of stare it down. Meanwhile, the hag turns its attention towards
Me?
you and the reptilian creature,
Oh, my God.
and she is going to.
Scream at you. Take your breath away.
She's going to try to one claw attack at you, one claw attack at you. So the first claw attack at you will hit an armor class of 25.
That is. Yeah, that's a hit.
For 8 points of slashing damage as she rakes out her black talons against your hide. And then against you, only
But
hitting an
not
armor class of
advantage.
12. Oh yeah, with
Reckless.
advantage.
Still doesn't.
Still doesn't hit. But she claws the human fighter and tries to swing out at you, but you just kind of like, it just scrapes across the thick scaly hide and just does not penetrate.
Initiative.
No.
19.
Sylen.
15.
Mordai.
26.
Yeah.
Kalista.
21.
Wentsu.
7.
Like just the 7. Kara.
17.
Bad guys.
11.
Mordai.
Yeah, you can move up to her.
You can move around.
Not even
How do I
around.
stand in the water?
It would take 2 movement to move through Wentsu's space, and then
Here.
you go right there.
And then 2 movement to get to there.
Or.
Yeah.
Oh no, you'd be in the devil pit. Never mind.
Yeah. So you can go there.
Okay.
If the short guy can attack from the water, that's okay.
No, but I don't want to be in the water because the crystals and everything in the Fae.
The crystals are on the walls and stuff. Were they in the water at all?
Mhm.
Okay, I guess I missed.
They're everywhere but the beach.
So what do you do?
So I'm going to attack.
Yeah.
Okay. So roll d20, add your attack modifier.
And your sword does something.
Which one are you using?
I'm going to use this sword.
No, the short sword.
The short sword is there.
10.
That is a miss. Alright. Who's next? So
After Mordai, it'll be Kalista.
Alright. So as you're preparing your next action, you see your ranger companion moves past Wentsu, kind of into the water, very unhappy about it, but knowing that the danger is dire and you need to finish off this creature. So he moves around, but swings and just cannot seem to connect.
I'm gonna try Witch Bolt again.
Alright?
Stop rolling on your book.
You need dice. Yeah, you should roll on it too or something.
It was an 11.
Total?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright. So again, you summon up the magical energies to cast this spell. Releasing the energy into the void of the air, well away from, unfortunately, the target that you had intended.
It's Sylen next.
Hold
Reset.
up. Sorry. I was pointing at Jordan.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You are coming up, though. Kurik is next with his 19.
Okay, I will swing recklessly.
Okay.
And hit a 9.
Miss.
And second attack will hit a 25
Hit.
for 16 points of damage.
Alright. So, we're at
78.
16. You're gonna also attempt to bite her.
I was gonna look it up in the Voldos, but I think I can only do the Hungry Jaws once per
Rest.
rage or rest or something. So I didn't want to assume that I could. Can't use this trait again until you finish a short roll on rest.
Okay.
So you can only do the hungry bite once.
Alright, so you lash out with your axe, cleave deep into her, but you see more of the black ichor kind of ooze out of her form. But she's still standing. She's still ready to kill you guys.
Yeah.
So, who is next?
Me.
Alright.
Quick. That's bullshit. I want to add a specialty dice to.
Superiority dice.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. So I have a 13 and a 8. So I want to boost the 13.
Alright.
14, 15, still a miss.
Still a miss. So you swing, and with the second attack, you try to compensate, but again, it's a very elusive target.
Kara.
Alright,
I swear you're coming up, man. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I
I'm gonna turn this way.
thought you were talking to me when you said
Punch that thing.
next, so.
14
Miss.
on the
Oh, the imp.
imp.
Oh, on the imp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hit.
That thing's not hitting me. That's 26.
Also a hit.
14 points of damage.
Alright. So with a spinning back fist, you're like, whoosh, and you hit it, and it just kind of goes limp in the air.
Just
And then you just bring the other, as you come around, you just bring the other fist with it, and just like, whack! And you just like against the ground,
And the way
and
this
then
works,
it
you
bounces
double
just
the
a
dice
little
you
bit,
roll,
and then it just kind of evaporates into like this black, inky black mist, and then it goes back into the pit.
Like you said, when you roll your die, you don't roll it twice, you just double whatever you roll.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. After
Every day.
Kara, at long last, it is silenced.
Alright, so I'm going, since it's only the hag left, I'm going to go back and try and Eldritch Blast the hag.
Okay.
Natural
Nice.
20.
Nice. Critical hit.
Critical. Speaking of critical, I don't know if cold affects it, but I'll also keep it separate. Oh, nice. 22 force damage and 6 cold damage.
28.
Yeah, 28 total unless there's a reduction on the cold. No, so 28.
Which brings her to.
106.
Okay. So, again, another bolt of eldritch energy flashes from his hand, swirling with this like strange blue aura that kind of goes along with it. And it crashes into her. You see splinters of ice kind of form over her body, and she just screeches and looks to you, agonized but furious. She seems battered and just ready to go down, but she's still on her feet.
And it's her turn.
Alright.
Up, fool. Oh!
There's a guy that used to work at the Olympic Chuck E. Cheese. He yelled at Joe one time when he was pooping. He said,
Alright.
"You need to flush, small fool."
So with this, she's going to reach out her arm towards you, and she just kind of out like this, and from her fingers shoot these silvery bolts of energy. And she casts magic missile at you.
I'm going to counterspell it.
Okay.
So, what level, I guess, if the creature is casting a spell of 3rd level or lower, it fails and has no effect.
Yep. So that's basically it's a.
Alright.
I would
first
like that
level.
again.
So I use one of my spells and I just counter it.
Alright, so as she does that, and you see these silvery twisting bolts of energy flying towards Sylen, you see him kind of mutter some words and wave his hand, and the energy just kind of fizzles and vanishes.
Did he say no when he does that?
I don't think so. Wentsu?
Back there again. It's 23, so did it.
That is it.
I hate that. The D4 are the worst ever to pick up.
Yeah.
Unless you got clampy hands.
15 points of damage.
15 points of damage brings her to 121.
Alright. So you grasp the blade of your knife and you kind of flip it around so that you're bringing it down in a downward stabbing motion. You pierce it into her and you hear her screech out. How would you like to end her life? This time.
How would I like to end her life?
This time.
This
How do you
time?
want to do this?
So I came in with a downward.
Mm-hmm.
This has got that hook.
Yeah.
That talon like blade, right?
You're gonna die.
Yeah, basically.
Blade
I'm just gonna
inside go.
I'm just gonna open her wide open just so she just.
Alright. So you plunge it into her as you just hit her right in the back, right next to the spine where the ribs kind of connect. And you just pull it down, severing all of those ribs and everything as you pull it down. And you see that inky black ooze just kind of move out of her body, and it washes over your hands, and you see she just kind of seems to turn inside out as you pull it down. And then as she finally lets out this last hideous screeching scream, her body dissipates into an inky black mass and is sucked back into the pit. And it is silence once more. All you hear is the gentle, calm flowing of the waterfall.
Can I get out of the water?
Quickly out.
Alright,
I don't want to stay in the water.
so the task is done.
I have that inky black stuff still over my hand.
Now, once she's gone, all of her essence and everything goes back to the pit.
Make sure you stop your ring.
Was Sylen the only one who knew if the pit was like active, so to speak?
No.
Magically.
Yeah, magic.
Oh, magically, yeah.
You knew that it was Fae. I knew it was
I
magic.
mentioned it after I said that. I think other people were talking, but I did mention it. So
Who said?
So does the black stuff look like it's settled? Like
Yeah, it's
not
just like
magical
a
anymore?
It looks exactly the same to you. It's just this inky black well of darkness, but it's quiet and peaceful.
Opening my Eldritch Sight, does the amount of magical energy emanating from the pit seem lesser, or does the...
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anywhere near as much. There's still like a slow leak almost. You basically just see like it's like the energy slightly just kind of bubbles up a little bit, but not the torrent that comes before the gateway opens. You've accomplished what you came here to do. The witch has been slain, and you will have another 100 years without her torment.
Mm-hmm. Is there any post-murder ritual?
That's what Wentsu was going to walk up and ask him if there was anything else that he needed to do to finish this task.
Just to
What
simply
about-
report back to the shaman, who by this time should already know that through his visions that your task is done, and to basically receive the accolades of honor from your tribe for accomplishing your task, and finally being promoted to your station as chieftain of the tribe.
Picking up that.
Nice.
When you have hard fingers like
Right?
me,
That's a lot of bitching.
Actually,
That's a lot
Just
of
find a
lizard
little
bitching.
rock, a warm rock to...
How do you guys want to finish this up?
So we're friends,
I
right?
think I might die.
You cool if we're just going around your island without stabbing or killing anything?
it's not my island.
You're parts of the island?
You would be welcome to visit my tribe. Although,
Please don't.
although you should be careful of the area. There are many threats here. And what is it that you are here on this island to do?
He's looking for elf stuff.
My mother...
You
came
only
to
know
this
of
island
one
a lot-
elvish thing on the island,
My mother came
and
to
it's
this
at the
island
bottom of the lagoon.
a long time ago, and for a reason, and I do not know what it is, and I was hoping to find signs of her.
Is that a secret?
I thought you know of.
The only elven things that I know of are the bottom of the lake, the city.
I've never heard of this city. An elvish city?
Yeah, it was elvish at one point. Now belongs to the merfolk.
Huh.
Right?
Would the merfolk let us pass into their territory? Like, how do you ask nicely with the merfolk?
Fish food.
I would assume no fish first.
They would have to seek the audience with Calathrax.
It's like I'm
You would have to seek an audience with Queen
Yes, Queen.
Lathrax.
Just like say it just like that.
You
She's
recognize.
the queen of the
That's how
merfolk.
you say it.
Yes. You recognize that as a draconic name.
Magic.
You're the only one that speaks draconic here. Well, you speak it draconic, but you don't associate the
Yeah.
two as being anything different than
Yeah,
normal.
words.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Never-ending story.
It might not have a meaning. It just
Yeah.
it's just a draconic. I mean, it probably has a meaning in
It's
draconic.
a silver
but-
dragon, isn't it?
Sad. He was dying.
Silvers.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, let's go back to the villa, celebrate with a feast, and once the sun is all the way up, you can head back to your people.
Unless he just wants to head back now.
You can dance
3
naked
miles
around the
swim.
fire. You don't even have
It's
to.
a 3-mile swim. Is that hard for you?
No.
You've got that tail. I mean, I would imagine that's pretty useful.
We should celebrate.
He said that the way the turtle did in Neverending Story. We're allergic. Queen go.
So we go and we have a nice feast.
Alright, so
More
you guys.
With
we
leftover
just ate a
board.
whole board.
I haven't
Eating
eaten.
more boards.
That was a
There's
30-second
some
fight
leftover.
ago, Erin.
There's more boar.
Actually, hang on, that was 18 seconds.
Maybe the
But we also
innkeeper's
had
made like
wait.
boar stew since we've been gone because he's bored. What else is he gonna do?
He's bored.
Bored. He is.
Alright, so you guys return to the villa, cautiously moving past the area where the Gorillian had trespassed, basically set its nest of
Really good
sorts,
sneak attack.
and feast upon the remainder of the boar that the innkeeper Eskin basically prepares for everybody. Some slabs of bacon and everything. In an offering to you, he has prepared some basically an entire big 10 or like a 5-pound slab of this bacon uncooked. He's like, here, because he noticed that you took that pretty much a ham to yourself to feast upon without it being cooked. So he basically set aside, and it's got some seasoning and stuff on it, but it's just a big
Interesting
chunk of.
choice of dirt to throw on your meat, but it works.
He's like, you're welcome.
Ground plant matter.
I don't know why you guys insist on eating your food's food.
Weird, but
Seems counterintuitive, really.
And then that's where, after the feast and everything, about midday, you just begin the trek back to your village because you have no real reason to.
Don't be
To
a stranger.
linger.
my tribe is down the stream. You may
Alright.
visit if you like.
But don't.
You may visit.
You guys have anything last?
Well, I was gonna just to throw that twist on it. Did Lou pray much at all? I forget about that. Because his god, you said it was different than.
It wasn't really much of praying, but more
Because it was a nature guy.
Checking
Like-
in.
Kind of
Like
more
just
of a meditation almost, right?
kind of a meditation on during the sunrise, or sometimes during the sunset as well,
Okay.
to capstone just the day.
Like a
That way I
connection, like a reconnection.
Trying to put some stuff together, something about it.
Did we ever pray over his body?
Yeah, you guys did a little funeral and everything.
We did a funeral, but did we actually pray the way that he's supposed
Alright,
to?
everybody gets. I don't think anybody actually prayed because there's no
Because
religious.
we don't know.
So
Well, you know,
you said
Well,
I
not
assume
like-
everybody knows
we're
how,
waiting for the
but
sunrise.
Or not
We're
like
eating
how
till
can you
sunrise?
wait-
Is that what we're doing? Are we eating till sunrise? Is that what you're
No,
It is
sun,
sunrise.
sun had already. The hag appeared when the sun rose, basically.
Oh, okay.
So the sunrise has already happened.
yeah.
So we're just down
And then by
eating
midday
till
we're-
midday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, you guys go from there. It's early in the morning.
Alright.
Back at the villa, you eat and everything. By midday, he
We get breakfast.
slips into the water and swims off like a crocodile, heading towards the big split in the wall of the caldera to the north.
Kicking somebody's foot.
Kick it.
Everybody gets 250 experience points.
Yep.
Actually,
Twisted.
I'm gonna move that up. There was lots of good role play and stuff, and the story really progressed nicely. I'm gonna bump that up to a total of 500 XP.